devising a strategy or strategies for sustaining the platform. What we are doing today and what we did in Zimbabwe, how can this be sustained from the country level to the regional level? And this deliberation is going to be not for 2 or 3 people, it's going to be for all of us. You speak it your own language, we capture it. And then we document, digest it, put it into strategic document. These are the 4 objectives. Probably quickly in Swahili, tuna malengo manne ya mkutano wetu. Lengo la kwanza ni kupata uzoefu wenu. Uzoefu wa nchi kwa maana ya program zetu au wizara za afya zinasaidia vipi manage hayo maradhi pamoja na ulemavu, na namna gani wanashirikiana na ninyi katika kuwasaidia kujitunza kwa maana nyingine na maradhi au ulemavu ulionao. Hii ni muhimu sana kwa sababu lazima tuelewe hali ikoje sasa ili tuweze kushauri kwa mbele twende vipi. Namba 2, tunahitaji kujua kuna mapungufu yapi kwenye upelekaji wa afua au upelekaji wa intervention. Afua ni kama MDA, ugawaji wa dawa, kufanya kambi za upasuaji na kadhalika. Kuna changamoto zipi? Kuna mapungufu yapi katika upelekaji wa hizo afua, na badala yake badala ziwe na tija, tija inakuwa sio kubwa kama ambavyo tulitarajia. Kwa ninyi kwa nafasi yenu, kwa sababu mmeshiriki, mtaweza kutuambia. Of course na sisi tutazungumza pia. Na namba 3, na mkutano huu unatoa nafasi kwetu ya affected, ninyi ambao mtazungumzia changamoto za kiuchumi, mtazungumzia elimu, kwenye nyanja zote za maisha mzungumzie. Hii itatusaidia kuelewa hali halisi ikoje, lakini pia itatusaidia sasa kuona namna gani sera iboreshwe ili tutoke kwenye hali tulionayo sasa hivi. Na ya 4, lengo la 4 ni kuja na mkakati ambao utasaidia kuwa na platform, kuwa na mfumo wa uzungumzaji, kuwapa nafasi walioathirika kuzungumza, kupaza sauti, ili watunga sera, wafanya maamuzi na watendaji na wananchi kwa ujumla waweze kusikia, na hivyo basi kubadilisha hali tulionayo hivi sasa na maisha ya watu walioathirika yawe mazuri zaidi. So hizi ndio ando malengo manne. Welcome interpreter.
Saka apa zvikuridzo nechinangwa chemeeting yedu. Number 1, kuti tishare ma-stories edu zvatinosangana nazvo munyika dzedu. And tingavapinze sei muchirongwa. Number 2, tirikusvaya kuda kuona zvimhingampini zvinokanganisa kuti muwane like zvinopindira maprojects kana uchi anenge achikubatsirai kuti muwane rubatsiro rwakakwana. And then number 3, tiri kutarisa kuti tinenge tiri kutraya kuti chinangwa chacho ndechekuunda kuti mushare maexperience enyu kurarama kwamunoita, uye tichinyora pasi masuggestions enyu amunenge muinawo zvamungade kunzwikwa muchitaura. And then number 4, kuti mouyawo nezvamunofunga kuti zvingaitwe kubatsira kuti mavoices enyu munzwikwe zvese zvamunenge muchisangana nazvo.
That didn't improve but the TIBA overall TIBA logo is to thank my friend and brother, Humphrey, for making this coordination and the meeting possible here in Zanzibar, my very own institution, NIMRI, for being part of the TIPA and the organization as well. We thank you all, and once again, welcome to Zanzibar.
So the next part of our schedule this morning, we want to hear from our own Dr. Shahari. Dr. Shahari, karibu sana. Dr. Shahari, as I said, is a program manager responsible for neglected tropical diseases, and he has done a lot of work from interventions to research work. And this is part of the docket in the Ministry of Health in Zanzibar. And there has been on hepatic filariasis, schistosomiasis, and soil transmitted ailments. And Zanzibar, because of his leadership, has managed to take care of most of the neglected tropical disease. Is an example in the African continent, especially the East African area, that they are going to eliminate some of these diseases as a public health problem by 2030. Some of schisto here is below 5%, and they have schistosoma hematopia or the urinary form of schistosomiasis. So, Shari, karibu sana to allow us to continue.
Sakapawanga to introduce Dr. Shahari Wachaya Chizitaura about entities in Tanzania.
Dr. Shahari ndio mwenyeji wetu hapa Zanzibar, na yeye ni msimamizi wa kitengo cha magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele Zanzibar, na anafanya kazi kwenye Wizara ya Afya hapa Zanzibar.
Once again, good morning, everyone. As I have been introduced by Dr. Humphrey, I'm Dr. Shahari Ame, who is going to be your host for these 2 days. And today I have two roles. One, to represent the Deputy Director of Preventive Service and Health Education, the Minister of Health, who was supposed to be here with you this morning, but for some reasons, she's not here. And she has asked me to represent her, to officially open this gathering. So I'll take this first role of exactly reading the speech of the guest of honor. So TIBA Co-Director, Professor Francis Mutapi. By the way, before continuing to this opening speech, please, Professor Mutapi, after this session, kindly identify yourself to me. When I was just about to take my flight from Pemba to Unguja this morning, so TIBA Co-Director Professor Francisca Muchapi, WHO Country Office on Neglected Tropical Disease Focal Person, TIVA Country Representative from mainland Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Sudan. I guess Sudan here we have both South Sudan and the other Sudan, don't we? Or we have only North Sudan, and there's no South Sudan. It's very unfortunate. So colleagues from Sudan and the UK, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, morning. Please allow me to begin by thanking the Almighty God for granting us the opportunity to be here today. I'm aware that we have participants who have traveled all the way from Zimbabwe, Sudan, and the United Kingdom to come to Zanzibar for this important meeting. I also recognize participants from National Institute for Medical Research, COAS, Neglected Tropical Program Diseases from Minister of Health, from Tanzania mainland and from Zanzibar. So on behalf of the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, I welcome you to Zanzibar, and indeed for the people in this Spice Island. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to preside the opening of this important meeting on amplifying the voice of the affected to accelerate efforts to control and eliminate neglected tropical disease in Africa. Neglected tropical diseases significantly compromise populations' health and well-being, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, causing undesirable effects on the person's socioeconomic capability, thus throwing a majority of the affected into abject poverty. In sub-Saharan Africa, neglected tropical disease limit educational opportunities for school-age children by interfering with cognitive development, affecting school attendance, and grossly affecting child development. Additionally, neglected tropical diseases have caused social stigma to the affected both at the family and the community level. Of course, you can appreciate the first speaker who was just left the podium was emphasizing on the stigma which is experienced by those who have been affected with neglect. The Kigali Declaration. Ladies and gentlemen,
tunaishi nao, ni jukumu la sisi ambao tunafanya tafiti katika jamii zilizoathirika na hayo magonjwa. Kwa hiyo amekwisha fungua kikao chetu, tutakuwa huru sasa kuendelea na baraka zote za serikali zimekwisha tolewa. Asante.
Zamfikile ngazapha kuna Director of Preventive Services, the Ministry nona nezotano ne-Revolutionary Government yeZanzibar. Anzi Mangwanani Mose, tinotenda Mwari, tikusangada kutenda Mwari nekuti kwavaphanapa kuti tiwetsese pano. On behalf of Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, tinokugamuchirai mose pano. Nyaya iripo apa tiri kuda kutarisa nyaya dzema-NTDs anokanganisa kurarama kwevanhu neutano musub-Saharan Africa. Tinoona kuti musub-Saharan Africa ma-NTD anokanganisa kunyaya dzedzidzo kuvana, tichipindira panyaya yekuvandudzwa kwepfungwa, zvinokanganisa futi madzidziro anoita mwana kuchikoro, like attendance. kunzi zvemiti tinoziva kuti miti chirongwa chinechi chaunda vanhu vakasiyana siyana kubva kuma-public health researchers, vanhu vekuma-program officer vanoshanda nezvema-ntd. Naizvozvo chinangwa tichiri kuda kunzwa nyaya dzenyu, tinoda kuti dzinatonzwikwa zvakanaka nemapolisi nema-decision makers kuti vanzwisise kuona kuti vanokwanisa sei kurwisana nechirwere nema-ntds aripo. Zviri kunzi tinofanira kubatana tese kuti tikwanise kufaita ma-ntd aya. Pari kutaurwazve nezvekuti zvemichinangwa chemeeting inoyi chichatibatsira kuti tinzwe zvamunenge muchisagestawo inini maererano nekuti muri kuafektwa sei nezvirwere uye kuti tiona kuti tingaise sei okupedza ma-ntd ari musub-Saharan Africa. Sisi tinofanira kuwirirana panguva iyi nekuti yave nguva yekuti munzwike zvamuri kusangana nazvo poitwa action kuti tikontrole ma-ntd. Uye tinenge takamirira mhinduro dzenyu like zvamunenge madzidzawo kubva mabasa eupfumi vanenge vachisangana nema-ntd. Izvi zvichabatsira kuti zvichainfoma kana kudzivisa hurumende neWorld Health Organization after mastories enyu maita.
For the team may be late, you see we are doing translation in 3 languages. We have English, we have Swahili. No, we have the Swahili. We don't have language called the Swahili. And the other one is Shona, because we have our colleague from Zimbabwe, and Shona is it the second national language? Taka. So on the Belen Shona. So which one is dominant? Shona is dominant. Okay, yeah. So that's why you see the translation, because we have also a colleague from Zanzibar, from Zimbabwe. So the next part, we are going to have a group photo. We are going to do it outside there as part of our event today. And then after the group photo, we are going to have a tea break for 25 minutes, and then we'll be back. Then we start the second part of today. Nje kwa ajili ya kupiga picha moja watu wote. Baada ya hapo tutakuwa na chai ya saa 4 kwa dakika 20.
Because unota kwenda kunotorwa picture tiri se group, then after that inenge tea break makwenda unoja.
Good morning once again. Welcome to the second session of our meeting. As you know, we had a similar meeting in Zimbabwe last year, December. So now we're going to start by having an update of that meeting. And this update will be done by Prof. Zuluza and Prof. Mtabi. Mangwana nezvekare tinokugamuchirai kuchikamu chechipiri chemusangano uno. Neino sezvamunoziva takaita meeting yakafanana neinoyi kuZimbabwe last year pagore rakapera. Iko zvino tichanza update yemeeting iyoyo from ana Prof. Zuluza naProf. Mtabi.
Good morning, Abari. Makadi, Joten, ndazintroduce kare, rangu the Professor Takadira. Someone will translate. So I'm just going to start before Professor Francis Mtabi comes on from what we did last year, the events that took place. Last year, after our meeting, which we had in Kamba, in Pindura, the Mashonaland Central Province capital, it raised a lot of hopes in many people. So what happened is we raised a lot of hopes. A lot of people opened their eyes because of the people who are affected. Because people didn't know, or people are not aware how many people are affected. I think you did the translation. Oh, okay, I'll do this. I don't know if or you do the translation. So it started, we wanted to amplify the voices. I'll tell you two stories that have happened in my life. We started with Professor Mtabi going out to do field work and find out why diseases happen in different communities, different levels. To our surprise, we noticed that some people get infected, others do not. Others, even among those infected, some are worse, and even in some way better than others. But the other thing which I didn't notice is when we went out in the community, we would see a string which is tied from a hut or a house, it goes to the toilet. And I used to look at it and say, this homestead, why do they have a string which is running up to that toilet? I would see this very often. I didn't ask anyone. I said, something, what do they say? Until when we started fighting entities, and we did schistosomiasis, that is bilharzia, then we went to soil-transmitted myiasis, and then we went to lymphatic filariasis. When we started doing the mapping for trachoma, got the shock of my life. A lot of people in Zimbabwe are blind. And the moment you are blind, no one cares about it, no one knows about it. People know that oh, they were so and so, now you confined in the home. And those households where there was that string, it's for self, help. That when you want to go to the room, you just go along that string. So I reflected and I said, oh, these years, I didn't know that that was taken for present when someone gets lost inside. And how do we decide? Something that we can prevent. And how do we prevent it? Simple steps, which if only then going to lymphatic filariasis, where I am married. My mother-in-law, the brothers, two brothers, their wives. One of them is one arm slightly swollen, and the other one is just got slightly breast. And they started pointing fingers at each other that they wished. Then I'm asking, what's this? And then my wife says, oh, it's a long story. They started long lecture. Someone one of my arms. Then when we were doing LF mapping, we noticed that the village where they stay, the other one is supposed to be the other. And then some other doctors, the community was triggered to be marked. Then I went to the look, let's sit down. You know your arm wide. Then I open the book, show them, this is what. So all these years you've been hating. You did not like each other. You would not eat at each other's house just because you got here. So these are some of the things that take place because of neglecting those who are addicted. So what I wanted to share with you today is simple, not because we are doing the affected, but because of the work that I've been doing with my team in the association with the and I got offered a job with the World Health Organization, Afro Brotherhood. And I've been given the task to see how best can we tackle these neglected outcomes. So we've been thinking and cracking our heads, but we notice the affected are completely neglected. And one of this is an extra of the stories that I'm telling you besides blindness, trachoma, and lymphatic filariasis. The other one is what do you call it? The one is Caesar. I don't know what you call it. In Shona we say epilepsy. Yeah, the one which we call epilepsy. It's so prevalent. Here in Tanzania, I think the WHO is giving money to say that you work. What does it do? We've been talking about let us cook proper pork. Prepare it so that it's not cooked. But it's not only to my mouth. Okay. So the other one is the disease that is we have always known that is caused by eating poorly prepared pork. And the disease, some people don't even relate it to pork. It's epilepsy. And our communities are keeping free roaming pigs. At the same time, we've got poor sanitation. So the pigs do sanitation. They remove all the waste. And what we have noticed in our communities in Zimbabwe, Zambia, in many African countries, people think that epilepsy is occurring to those unfortunate people. But it's just because the way we are living into this parasite that is in our lives. And what we are realizing is that the only way we can do it is maybe showing this, where we need to see that we work with the community. You can see among us, we've got the community nurses, we've got nurses who are in the villages, and we also have and we also have the environmental health scientists and then the researchers. You notice those are the key people who can maybe link up between the communities that are affected and amplify the voice further out. We have seen it in Zimbabwe after our meeting last year. And then one of our partners sensitized the media. And then the media went, they were supported to go to spend 2 nights in Shamba district. They interviewed everyone, and they were so surprised about the snake bite. They were so surprised people are losing their sight. Because when we were growing up, people were saying, you can't eat food before you wash your face. You need to keep your face very clean. You don't have to share towels. So those things are the same things that are causing blindness in these people. And worse still, when COVID came, we started practicing self-hygiene. And you notice we had to overcome, because everyone has been informed now. So they went around, talked about snake bite, talked about blindness, trachoma, talked about bilharzia, talked about lymphatic filariasis. And to our surprise, it's not only those who have got elephantiasis whom we see, there are a lot of men who have got hydrocele, where the testicles are swollen. And those who have got elephantiasis, I tried to talk to the Minister of Health, and the key people, they said, you are telling us something which is not in this state. This is only one district where we are working from. They did not know that it's there. And when we spoke to some of the people, it's like, the healers, traditional healers, they try to cut. Then when the fluid comes out, there's infection, there's so much, which is no information is being relayed to how to take care, especially when you reach that stage. Let alone constant assistance, advice, health education, because someone now who's living with disability. But then we noticed, I just wanted to show you what we are looking at, that you as the community, before we go to the immediate managers, you need to help ourselves to set up structure. Unfortunately, we didn't have village health workers invited to the meeting, but I think the nurses work in the village health workers. If they can be aware of the existence of this problem, then we may be able to. This is something which I wanted to bring up because this is, if we can work within the community, be aware of the problem, identify if something is happening. What translation say? Okay, let me stop here so that you can translate. Thank you.
Sawa, nitatoa ufupisho mfupi wa profesa ambacho anakiongelea. Kwa kipindi hiki alikuwa anaongelea ufupisho wa kikao ambacho kilifanyika Zimbabwe, ambacho ni kikao kama hichi cha waathirika wa magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele kama kichocho, trachoma na matende. Ndio hiyo mifano aliyokuwa anaitolea. Na kwenye mifano yake alielezea kuwa wakati wanaendelea na maandalizi ya kufanya hizi program, walikuwa wanaenda kwenye jamii. Na mojawapo ya kitu ambacho walikuwa wamekigundua kwenye jamii ni kwamba walikuwa wanaweka kamba kutokea nyumbani kwenda msalani, chooni, ambako walikuja kugundua kwamba kulikuwa na watu ambao hawaoni kwa sababu ya trachoma. Kwa hiyo wanatumia ile kamba kwenda msalani. Lakini kitu kingine pia walikuwa wameona watu ambao wamevimba mikono, kwenye ziwa na wengine kwenye miguu, ambao walikuwa na ugonjwa wa matende, tunaita lymphatic filariasis. Kwa hiyo hayo yote kwenye jamii yalikuwa ni msukumo wa wao zaidi kuleta mwamko kwenye jamii na kutengeneza mikakati kwa ajili ya watu ambao tayari wameathirika na magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele. Lakini kitu muhimu pia alichoongelea ni kwamba kuna umuhimu wa kufanya kazi na wahudumu wa afya. Kwa mfano kwenye timu iliyotoka Zimbabwe kuna wahudumu wa afya ambao wamekuja, lakini pia kuna umuhimu wa kufanya kazi na watu wa utafiti ambao wanasaidia kwenye hii nyanja ya kuleta mwamko, lakini pia kufanya utafiti kwenye haya magonjwa. Hizi zote ambazo zitaboresha mwisho wa siku mikakati ambayo itakuja kuwekwa kwa ajili ya kutokomeza magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele. Kwa hiyo kwa ujumla anatoa ufupisho wa kazi ya magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele ambao wanafanya yeye, Profesa Mduluza na Profesa Mutabi.
Do I need to go into Shona? Do I remember what I said? rakapera kusvika iko zvino pane zvakawanda zvakaita. Zvimwe zvacho ndofunga makaona veZimbabwe Television vakasapotwa neveHigher Life vapartners kuti vauye kwamuri vachizokubvunzai kuti muri kurarama sei, nokuti meso avo akanga avhurika pavakanzwa chirongwa chatakaita mupindura gore rakapera muna December. Zvakakonzeresawo kuti vave vanoudza nyika yese kuti zvirwere izvi zviriko zvakatekeshera zvakawanda. Asi pane nyaya yandataura yandati pataita basa redu kutsvagurudza marwadzo anoitwa nezvirwere izvi kumamisha kushamba umwe pataishanda inini naprofesa Mukana taenda mudzimba taiona kubva paimba imwe pane katambo kakasungwa taenda unosvika kupere ini hapana chandaibvunzwa ndaiti ndikaona vanoisa mitambo dzidetwei toenda pane ndaitoona takawanda asi zvakazoti mushure zvakazoitika mushure mekunge taita ongororo yekuti bharazia rakawanda sei muZimbabwe tikaita nezvemakonye emudumbu ndobva tataura kuti vanotoda kuti vana vechikoro varapwe, ndo chirongwa chechi chamakaona chichiitwa. Ndobva tazoita zvakare zveelephantiasis kana kuti lymphatic filariasis inokonzeresa kuzvimba kwemakumbo. Ndobva tapedza napo, ndobva patakazoita trachoma. Haiwawo ndakashamisika because takatozoona kuti mudzimba umu mune vanhu vakawanda vakarasikirwa nemaziso. Ndo pandakazoona kuti katambo kai kandaiona kaibva pane imba kachisvika kutoilet pairatidza kuti pamba ipapo pane munhu asisaoni. Saka haupana waunodaidzira, unongosumuka wotsvaga tambo yako woenda kutoilet. Tadaro ndo pandakazoona kuti ingava netrachoma idambudziko rakakurisisa muZimbabwe. Ndosaka makaona kwamunogara kwaiuya vaipa mapiritsi azithromycin nemashurushuru ekuisa mumaziso evana nemumwe wainwa nevana nokuti trachoma yakatekeshera. Asi tikaonawo zviripo ndezvekuti zvirwere zvatakaregerera. Tarisai muone zvakaitika pakanga pane COVID yakauya ndobva tadzidziswa kuti tofanira kugeza kuva neutsanana hwakanaka. Zvirwere zvatiri kutaura izvi chinodikanwa chaizvozvo kuva neutsanana hwakanaka. Takakura tichiudzwa kuti kana usati wageza washamba kufesi haudyi, unotanga wageza. Amene kuti zvava kuenda kupi, tikuregerera nhunzi dzichimhara kumaziso evana kana kusiya tsvina iri paruvanzi. Tsvina iyoyo nhunzi ikamhara ikauya ikanomhara pamusuwo pahendro yedhoo, iwo ukabata ziso rako rikatsvinya ukatega inimbopukuta watoendesa utachiona wacho kuziso. Saka panenge pachidiwa utsanana hwakanaka. Saka zvese izvozvo zviri kukurudzira kuti tinofanira kuona kuti vanoshanda nevanhu mumamisha, mavillage health worker, tozouya pamakliniki, manesi, kucommunity tosvika neveutsanana. Basa redu rekuti tinofanira kuona kuti vanhu vanenge vachizotambudzwa nezvirwere izvi vava neruzivo ruri kudikanwa, nokuti ndivo vanhu vanogarorwadziwa nechirwere ichi. Ndozvandaida kuti nditranslate. Saka panapa ndaichiratidza zvandaratidza panapa ndezvokuti tine vanhu vakawanda vanoshanda mumatigere, asi kazhinji kacho tinokanganwa kuti pane munhu wacho watiri kuedza kuchengetedza. Sezvataita COVID vaccine zviyezvi, iyi ndiyo watiri kuda kuprotecta. Saka pazvirwere izvi zvinoregererwa izvi tinotoda kutoti munhu wese ave ane ruzivo rwekuziva kuti zvirwere izvi zvakamira sei. Saka ndoda kuenda pamberi. Pane iye inonzi kutarisa utano mubhasiketi rimwe chete. Pandabva ndachitaura pakanyorwa kuti pane hurumende, pane vanoita zveutsvakurudzo, pane vanopa mari, vese vanouya vachiita zveutsanana, vachiita mastages akawanda-wanda. Dai vese vakauya pamwe chete, then wouya futi woshanda necommunity yacho kana kuti vari mumamisha vane zvirwere zvacho, mune zvirwere zvacho. Saka ndo zvataedza kuitira kuti vakurumidze kuziva kana chirwere ichocho, kana mavapa ruzivo vanokurumidza kuziva kuti chakamira sei, kana kuti pane something chavada kuitika pano. Ndo zvacho zviri kuendera mberi zvekuti nokuti apo pane red here chakanzi community icho, zvinodikanwa kuti vanhu vazive kuti pane chirwere chavamo muno matiri, vanoudzane. Ndozveutsanana vanzi ma-environmental health officers, boudzwa manesi oudzwa kuti munomu pane mwana especially iko zvinhu izvi, so like kune ichi chinozvimbisa makumbo, vana vadiki vanogona kutanga kungozvimba matesticles, although zvinogona kukonzereswa nezvakawanda. Asi kana muchiziva kuti problem iyi munomu inogona kunge iri iyoyo, munokurumidza kutaura kuti pane zvatiri kuona hazvina kunaka, saka zvinogona kudzivirirwa zvisati zvaenda kure. Zvichiuya zvakare, vese vanoshanda imomo vanoita zvewashi zvemvura, vanoita zvekurimisa, vanoita zvekuita sei, vokurimisa chacho vanogona kuziva kuti nyoka dziri kuruma vanhu. Saka toda kuti tishandire pamwe chete, yatinoti isusu One Health. Iyoyo One Health ndeyekuti batanai mese munoshanda muri mucommunity kuti zvienderane pamwe chete. Ndozopedzisa nechirungu usati watranslate. Before you translate, I think that's when you get it clearly. So where I am coming from is, who do we want them to work together? The government, researchers, people with money, even partners. Whatever activities you are doing, can you form a network? The network which goes into the community. And also the community should be aware what things are there. Because what we want is them to quickly identify the problem. We want them to know, I think, even if you do homestead diagnosis, that the child, I think this is bilharzia, this is trachoma starting, you can refer the child somewhere else. But what you need is that network. Because we've got challenges where people with money, they want to come, I know I'm looking at this aspect alone. But if we put our resources and are being controlled nicely, it means they'll go a long way. And then we also want people to change their behavior. For mosquito, people have spoken about sleeping under a bed net, applying repellent. We have got fishermen. I liked it when we were talking at the tea break with the invited guests speaking. We were saying, can't we find out ways in which the fishermen can wear something just like our sea divers, when they play around in water? Can they not wear even waders up to a certain level? I know in Zimbabwe it has happened at certain farms where there are a lot of snakes, sugar plantations. They've got to wear those gumboots up to the waist, up to the knee high, I mean to say. Yes, you may meet some snakes that can be very hostile and rise up to your height, but those are rare. Most of the snakes, they bite you right at the feet. So you need protection. And also, if you inform the community that this area, there's rabies, there's what, they will become aware of the condition which is existing. So that is where you see we are talking about approaching that everyone should be aware of their environment. Those working in animals, those working in the environment, those so that the community, so that there can be early detection of diseases, for community health workers, agriculture people, environmental workers, vet, community leaders, school educators, to create awareness. Otherwise, if there's no awareness, we'll never be able to fight these diseases. So I'll stop here for translation.
Kuna wafadhili na wadau wengine mbalimbali ambao wote ni muhimu katika kuleta mwamko kwenye jamii kuhusu magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele. Ila kitu kikubwa muhimu ni hizi sekta kujumuika na kufanya jamii ielewe kwamba nini kinaendelea, magonjwa gani yako kwenye jamii, namna ambavyo yanapatikana na jinsi ya kujikinga. akatolea mfano mzuri wa kuhusisha jamii ni muhimu, kwa sababu kuna mabadiliko ya tabia ambayo yanahitajika kwa ajili ya kutokomeza haya magonjwa. Mojawapo ni kulala na neti, kupaka dawa za mbu kujizuia na mbu, lakini pia kwa wafugaji, kwa mfano wanaolima kwenye mashamba ametolea mfano mashamba ya miwa, kuvaa mabuti yale marefu kwenye mashamba ambako kuna nyoka ili kuzuia kung'atwa na nyoka. Kwa hizi sekta zote ni muhimu katika kuungana na kujaribu kutokomeza magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele.
Our first presentation. There is a lot of awareness throughout the country because a lot of radio stations, TV, they make documentaries concerning the infections. And lokuka ukushamba akaziona television taura kunoka zatenga bana kurasikiwa kumaziwa navanhu zvese izvo zvakabva meeting yatakaita nayo endiwo muwe nezvinhu zvinodikanwa kushandisa kuti vanhu vasarasikirwe nemaziso vasawane zvirwere izvi zvatinotaura nezvazvo.
Thank you so much, Prof. Zuluza, for that update. Any comments before I move on to the next thing? All right. So now, in the first session, we had some introductions done. Now we're going to move on to the introductions by the affected voices, stating their name, the disease that they suffer from, and how long they've had the disease. Because you know, you have introducer, you know how that's telling you,
session ambayo inafuata ni kwa ajili ya utambulisho ya waathirika ambao wameathirika na magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele, ambapo utataja majina yao, wameathirika na ugonjwa gani na kwa muda gani.
Okay, so for the introduction from Zimbabwe, we'll start from the left.
Tutaanza na utambulisho kutoka Zimbabwe.
Rangu ndinodzifarisa Kadzidzi. Ndinobva kuZimbabwe. Ndiri kutaura nechirwere pamusoro pokurumwa nenyoka. Ndakarumwa 2016. Ropa ndikarumwa nenyoka. Ropa 2016 ipapo ndakaenda kuchipatara. Ndakarumwa 2016. Ndakarumwa 2016. Mudambudzo 2016.
All right, so this was Farisai introducing herself. So she suffers from snake bite infenomene, and she was bitten in 2016, and she's been suffering since then.
Nanzi Joyce Mandilinga. Ndakarumwa nenyoka gore ra 2005 kuShamva.
I'd like to introduce her to Cindy Joyce. Now, she also suffers from snake bite infenomene, and she was bitten in 2005, and she's been suffering since then.
Kwa waathirika kwanza wawili waliojitambulisha ni ambao wameng'atwa na nyoka. Wa kwanza amesema ameng'atwa 2016, wa pili ameng'atwa 2005. Kutokea hapo wamekuwa wanasumbuliwa na matokeo ya kung'ata na nyoka mpaka leo.
Ini nanzishumira isindoka. Ndinobva kuZimbabwe. Dambudziko rangu ndereBhalazi. Ndava ne-15 years.
So this is Shumi Rai. She suffers from bilharzia or schistosomiasis, and she's been having it for the past 15 years.
Zita rangu
Anaitwa Shumirai na amekuwa akiugua na matokeo ya kichocho kwa miaka 16.
Zita rangu ndonzi Emiria Machinga. Ndinobva kuZimbabwe, Mashanani Central Province, Shamba, Madziva, Rural Clinic, Mpure Clinic. Dambudziko rangu nderebilharzia. Ndakagara naro makore akawanda kubva ndichiberekwa. Ndakazosvika pa15 years ndopa ndakazoziva ndasvika pakuroorwa ndopa ndakazoziva kuti ndine bilharzia.
This is Emiria. She suffers from bilharzia as well. She had it for many years when she was a child, but only got to find out 15 years after marriage.
Anaitwa Emilia, anasumbuliwa kwa muda mrefu na kichocho kwa miaka 15 sasa hivi.
Ndosafadzwa Banda. Ndobva kuZimbabwe, Shamba. Chirwere cheelephantiasis.
And that Tafadzwa, she suffers from lymphatic biliasis.
Anaitwa Tafadzwa na anasumbuliwa na matende.
Good afternoon. My name is Ngonzashe Abonyamusa. I'm from Zimbabwe and I've been suffering from swollen legs for since 2014 and never been attended, which I believe is elephantitis.
Anaitwa Ngoni na amekuwa anasumbuliwa na matende tokea mwaka 2014. Miguu yake ilikuwa imevimba mpaka leo.
Thank you so much, Zimbabwe team. So now we'll move on to the Tanzania team.
Asante sana kutoka Zimbabwe. Sasa tutaenda kutoka Tanzania. Karibuni. Najitambulisha, unaathirika na ugonjwa gani na kwa muda gani?
Habari zenu. Naitwa Sadoki Yakulima Tungarazia. Mzaliwa wilaya ya Ukerewe, mkoa wa Mwanza, kwa kanda ya Ziwa. Nimekuwa mwathirika wa magonjwa ya kichocho kwa muda wa miaka 5 sasa.
My name is Sadoki Tungarazia from Ukerewe district, which is in Mwanza region, and I've been affected with schistosomiasis morbidity for 5 years now.
Habari za saizi. Naitwa Mashaka Kasim Wango, ni mgonjwa wa matende. Ni mgonjwa wa miaka mingi sana safari, takriban zaidi ya miaka 20.
My name is Mashaka Kasim. I've been affected with chronic manifestations of lymphatic filariasis for more than 20 years now. Kasim.
Kwa majina naitwa Sister Merida Mwima Mbogosi. Nasumbuliwa na ugonjwa wa kichocho. Nina muda wa miaka 2. Huu ugonjwa ulianza nikiwa na miaka 2. Kwa sasa huu ugonjwa unanisumbua kuanzia sasa mwaka huu, kuanzia tarehe 1 mwezi wa kwanza. ndo nikapelekwa hospitalini ya wilaya na sio Ukerewe, nikapewa matibabu. Kwa kweli nashukuru matibabu ambayo napewa na madaktari wetu. Asanteni.
My name is Sister Imelda Mwima Mbogosi, and I've been suffering from chronic manifestations of schistosomiasis for 2 years now, but became severely ill this year when I started to get treatment.
Good afternoon. My name is Freedom Sengi. I'm coming from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm suffering with lymphatic filariasis since 2003. Thank you.
Anaitwa Frida, anatokea Dar es Salaam na amekuwa akisumbuliwa na ugonjwa wa matende kwa miaka 3 kutokea mwaka 2003.
Thank you.
Habari, naitwa Riziki Rajab, natokea Zanzibar. Nasumbuliwa na miguu, inanivimba, inafanya kama damu, kuvilia damu hivi.
Na my name is Zikraya Rizik, and I'm suffering from swollen limbs for some time now.
Thank you so much, Team Tanzania. And for the Sudan team, Prof. Hassan said we'll just do some introductions as people are not here because of the COVID happening. Over to you, Prof. Hassan.
Good evening, everyone. I will give a brief introduction for sixth semester program and entities in Sudan. And as we saw here, the entities and sixth semester program established in 2000, and in 2012 became in Khartoum State only, and in 2015 became community intervention division, And the community intervention division has three units: surveys, and NTD, and community management and population at risk. And in 2021, Schistosomiasis control program became neglected tropical disease. And this is reflected that the NTD's program established is very late, and this reflected that the burden of the disease is hyper-endemic in many localities in Sudan. The key point of program in Sudan is the diagnostic and therapeutic intervention happen in some entities, and this is make the program is very successful. And there is many hinders. Diseases, especially lymphatic filariasis, and we know that macrofilariae in the circulations, and in the patient we cannot detect the microfilaria until the patient became and developed the complication of lymphatic filariasis. Also, the awareness among the community and low awareness and the stigma and discrimination and traditional healers, because most of the patients, instead of going to the health facilities like health center or hospital, just the people or the patient go to the traditional healer, and this is make the disease complication is very severe among the population. MDA and prophylaxis, this lymphatic filariasis and onchocerciasis, only covered by the MDA, and scabies are treated by oral ivermectin, and identifying the target populations, identify the interval and number of rounds, strong coordination with public and private partnership, address the issue of stigma and discrimination among the population.
Anaitwa Profesa Hassan kutoka Sudan na atatoa ufupisho kuhusu Sudan, na hapa alikuwa akiongelea program ambazo za taifa ambazo zinaendelea kwa ajili ya kutokomeza magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele. Program mojawapo ni ya ugawaji wa dawa ambayo inahusisha wanajamii. Kwa hiyo ni program inayoenda mpaka ngazi ya jamii, ugawaji wa dawa za kichocho na zingine kupitia hizi program za kitaifa. Akaelezea kuwa changamoto kubwa ambazo zinapatikana kwenye hizi jamii ni cha kwanza unyanyapaaji, cha pili pia hamna mwamko, watu wafahamu kuhusu haya magonjwa, na hata kama uelewa kuhusu haya magonjwa ni uelewa ambao sio sahihi.
So we hope that after this meeting, Okay, our hope from this meeting that identifying opportunity beyond the NTD affected voices, such as they're looking for the future to live with the disabilities. And as we know, all affected entities' voices have some disability for the NTDs, like elephantiasis and leprosy, and we need that this meeting can reflect their future, looking for the better life, and also the efforts that will be made to prevent and minimize the disabilities among the vulnerable population or the affected population. NTD affected voices training and empowering for self-care. And number 4, just the interventions to promote social inclusions.
Profesa alikuwa anaelezea matarajio ya hichi kikao ambacho tunakifanya. Mojawapo alisema kuwa ni kutambua vitu ambavyo vinaweza vikafanyika kwa ajili ya watu ambao wameathirika na magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele, kwa mfano wenye ulemavu kutokana na haya magonjwa, lakini pia kuongeza jitihada kwenye hii sekta ya ulemavu unaotokana na magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele na kuhusisha zaidi katika shughuli za kijamii za watu walioathirika na magonjwa yasiyopewa kipaumbele, zaidi sana wenye ulemavu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Hassan, for that. So next, I'm going to hand over to Gabrielle, who's going to lead us to our next session, where we're now hearing from the affected voices, sharing their stories, and at least what they hope will come out from this meeting. So, Kojino, Ndakuzo, Pasa Mike Kuna, Gabrielle, Acha, ngachi leader session yokungo telistinzo kune emimi mukurwara nezvirere izvi kuti moda kuti listi chizoitika nokutudza ma stories enyu.
Kipindi kinachofuata kitaongozwa na Gabrielle ambacho kitahusisha wahusika wakuu wa hichi kikao ambao ni athirika magonjwa ambayo yanapewa kipaumbele kuongea na kuelezea sehemu yao ya ugonjwa.
Habari and Mangwanani, good morning. So we've reached the most important segment, which is the affected voices sharing their experiences with their respective diseases. The two people who will be talking will be Farasai Kaziche and Joyce Mandivenka. I think I can call upon Farizai first. She'll be talking about her snake bite envenoming experience. And can I have the translators as well up? Thank you.
Zita rangu ndinonzi Farisai Kadziche. Ndinobva kuShamba district. Chirwere changu ndichokurumwa nenyoka. Ndakarumwa nenyoka 2016. kubva ndarumwa nenyoka. Ndakakwanisa kurumwa nenyoka ndakaenda kuchipatara. Ndakaenda kuchipatara ndakakwanisa kubaiwa tetanus ndokunzi ndiwe nenyoka yacho. Nyoka yacho ini ndakakwanisa kuita ndakaishaya. Kubva ipapo ndarumwa nenyoka ndakawa nedambudziko regumbo. Ndakatanga kurwadzwa negumbo. Ndakazvitakura ndobva ndasununguka mwana wangu 2016 yeyo. Maziso ake ndakamusununguka akashedheka ngenyoka. Haanyatsokuona. Kubva ipapo ane dambudziko remaziso. Ndichirarama ndiri munharaunda iyoyo, ndiri munhu anotambudzika negumbo. Ndiri munhu asingakwanisi kuita chimwe chinhu pamusoro pegumbo iroro. Ndichirarama ndakangodaro, gumbo rinonditambudza, handikwanisi kana kushanda kuita kana chimwe chinhu pamusoro pegumbo. Ende ndiri munhu anononoka kusvikawo pakati pekuitawo zvimwe zvinoitawo vamwe vanhu mabasa. Nekuda kwedambudziko regumbo roro, gumbo rakatanga kundirwadza ndokutangwa nomusana, chipedzisira rabatanidza nemaziso. Maziso angu haanyatsokuona, ndiri munhu anongogara achange munhu anoda kukotsira. Saka maziso ndaane problem yemaziso. Ndozvirwere zvinonditambudza panyama yangu. Handikwanisi kana kuita chandinoita kana basa randokwanisa kuita pamusoro pechirwere chocho. Saka ndakanonoka kubatsirwa nekumushonga, ndakwanisa kuwana mushonga kuti ndikwanise kubatsirwa chirwere chiwanikwe nekupera munyama yangu. Ndakawanikwa ndiri munhu akashaya mari yekuenda kuchipatara. Ndakanonzi gumbo roro rakuda kutobatsirwa nemwe chirwere chapararira mukati menyama dzenyu chakukonzesai maziso nokukutambudzai. Saka chirwere ichocho chinoda kutobatsirwa. Ndakashaya mari yekuti ndibatsirikane nechirwere ichocho. Ndiri munhu anogara achingotambudzika pamusoro pechirwere chandinacho, kurumwa nenyoka. Handikwanisi kuita kana chimwe chinhu, ndinorwadziwa negumbo zvakanyanyisisa nemaziso angu haone. Ndatenda.
But I couldn't find the snake. I was pregnant at that time and I gave birth to a child who is... Okay. I was pregnant at that time and I gave birth to a child with partial blindness. I can't do any activities, work or household chores because of my leg. It is always painful. I also suffer from partial blindness and I'm always feeling sleepy. I couldn't get money to get help from the healthcare facilities, so here I am with a painful leg. Thank you.
Kwa majina naitwa Farisai Kazinje, ninakaa Shamba, wilaya ya Shamba, na niling'atwa nyoka 2016. Nikaenda hospitali nikachoma sindano ya tetanus. Niliambiwa nimlete yule nyoka lakini sikuweza kumuona. Kwa hicho kipindi nilikuwa mjamzito na nikajifungua mtoto ambaye haoni vizuri na mimi mwenyewe sioni vizuri, na mpaka sasa hivi ninalala sana, nasikia usingizi sana.
Can I call on Joyce to speak about her experience?
My name is Joyce Mandivenga. Ndinobva kuZimbabwe. Ndakarumwa nenyoka 2005. Ndikakwanisa kuenda kuchipatara ndikabaiwa tetanus. Handikwanise kuita zvanokwanisa, ndongoswera ndakagara chete.
kana basa ndotosiwirawo vamwe vanhu vanoenda kubasa kuti aende ndichikwanisawo kuti ndakwanisawo kubatsirwawo nokuti hapana chandokwanisa kuita muupenyu hwangu. Kubva ipapo pandakarumwa nenyoka hapana chandinokwanisa kuita, ndinongoswera ndakagara paumba. Ndinotosiwirawo kuti andikwanisawo kuti nditewo mabasa anokwanisawo anenge achiita vamwe. Ndozoti ndakwanisawo kubatsirwawo nekukwanisawo kubatsirwawo kuti munzvimbo mandinogara ndichikurudzirawo vamwe kuti ndikwanise kuti anenge arumwa nenyoka wese akwanise kuendawo kuchipatara nekuti zviite zvakanaka.
Kutokea Zimbabwe, niling'atwa na nyoka 2005, nikaenda hospitali nikachoma sindano ya tetanus. Lakini mpaka sasa hivi siwezi kufanya shughuli zangu na kazi zingine. Kwa hiyo ningependa kuwaasa wagonjwa wengine waliong'atwa na nyoka kwenda na hospitali na kupata matibabu haraka.
So we'll be moving on to the schistosomiasis affected. Can I call on Ameria to come up?
Maskata akanaka. Zita rangu ndonzi Emiria Machinga. Ndobva kuZimbabwe, Mashonaland Central Province, Shamba District, Madziva Rural Clinic, Mufure Clinic. Ndakararama kwemakore akawanda kubva gore randaberekwa 1967 kusvika pa1985 ndiine chirwere chebilharzia.
Amesema anaitwa Emilia Machinga kutoka Zimbabwe, wilaya ya Shamba.
Ndakaberekwa mugore ra1967 kusvika 1985 randaroorwa ndichirarama ndiine bilharzia ndisingarizivi kuti ndinaro.
I was born in 1967 and I've stayed like for some number of years until 1985 when I was now diagnosed with bilharzia when I was already married.
Ndaroorwa ndakaita alright, okay.
Nimezaliwa mwaka 1967 lakini mwaka 1985 ndo nilipoambiwa kuwa nina kichocho.
Ndaroorwa ndakaita 15 years ndisina nhumbu yakabva.
After I got married, I spent like 15 years without a child.
Baada ya kuolewa nimekaa takriban miaka 15 bila kupata mtoto.
Pakazoya ana Prof Mduluza ndopatakatanga kutariswa bilharzia kusvika rakazowanikwa riri pachibereko 1999.
So in 1999, when Prof Mduluza came, that's when I was diagnosed with bilharzia in the uterus.
Mwaka 1999 Prof Mduluza alipokuja ndo nilipoambiwa kuwa nina kichocho kwenye kuta la kizazi.
Ndapa ndakazopuwa mushonga rawanikwa muna 2000 ndobva ndaita pamwiri ndobva pazobva pe 3 months and 3 weeks.
In 2000, I was given some medication and I was pregnant at that time. And
ndiri mumhuri ndaizvitorera pasi ndaizvidzikisira semunhu unenge usina mhuri, handikwane kupinda pane vamwe nokuti ndee ndichizvitora semunhu asina basa. Chikumbiro changu ndechekuti isu tinoshanda mabasa emaoko, hatina zvikwanisiro, mikando tinoida, asi hatikwanise kuwana chatinotaura nokuti tinenge tichizvidzikisira tichizvitora sevanhu vasina basa. Ndee ndakatarisirawo kuti ndakawanawo zvinhu mapurojekti anoita sehuku, madiridziro, zvinoitawo kuti ndiwanewo kusimukira, ndichizvibatira pachangu ndiri ndega, ndisinganokwaniwo kune vamwe. Togova netarisiro yekuti muzvipatara medu imomo matiri tiri kukumbira, chikumbiro chedu ndechekuti dai kwakawanikawo makliniki akatenderedza, pavanouya vouyawo nemishini inenge yevhu yake, vobva vauya vachitarisawo vana amai zvibereko kuti bhazi iro rirege kupararira.
We hope in our hospitals or in the clinics around us that they can come and do checkups, especially with women, to check up for their fertility.
Natarajia kuwa hospitali zetu na vituo vingine vya afya kwamba zitafanya utaratibu wa kuangalia wamama kwa ajili ya kuangalia
nokuti tiri kutaurira kudaro nokuti mahospital edu ari kure, unogona kuenda watsvagiridza mari yekuti uende wosvika kunzi hakunai magetsi, hakunai mishini yacho yakafa. Saka yakawanda muzvipatara zvakatenderedza. Kuda ndofunga Mwari angatikomborere takaropafadzwa takagona kurapwa kune vamwe variko kumba vachinoda kurapwa sesu.
The problem with our current hospitals is that they are far away, and so sometimes we have to look for a lot of money to get there. And when you get there, they say there's no electricity or the machines are not working. So at least if we have some clinics or hospitals that are closer to us within our regions, it will make it easier for other people that are suffering from diseases to be treated early.
Shida kubwa tunayoipata ni kwamba hospitali ziko mbali, kwa hiyo tunalazimika kutafuta pesa kwa ajili ya usafiri ya kwenda hospitali, na ukifika hospitali bado kuna changamoto. Unaweza ukaenda hospitali ukaambiwa umeme hamna au vifaa fulani hamna.
Ipapo pari pamaprojekti atiri kukumbira kune vanhu tinozvitarisira pasi, tine masolar pump anowanika anotibatsira kudiridza magadheni, torega kunotsika mvura kuti tirege kuramba tichiafektwa nebhleasiya.
Just use the bowls powered by the solar panel to water the garden.
Tunachokiomba ni kwamba mradi uwezeshe kuwa na sola ambazo zinaweza zikafanya umwagiliaji, tukachana na kutumia ndoo kwenda kupata maji kutoka kwenye mito.
Tinotarisiro yekuti pavachauya Prof Mduluza kushamba, tiri kutarisira kuti ngavauye vazorapa nevakuru variko, nokuti chirwere ichocho hachisi kupera, nokuti vana vadiki vavari kurapa vanozonoitira weti pasi, then isu vakuru toenda tonotsika bhazi riri kuramba richitenderera riri mushamba.
We hope that when Prof Mduluza comes with the team, they will also treat the adults, because as it is right now, children go and urinate in the rivers, and us as the adults, we go and step into
tunategemea kuwa mradi utakapofika utaweza kutoa dawa kwa ajili ya watu wazima pia, kwa sababu watoto wanaenda kujisaidia kwenye vyanzo vya maji na sisi watu wazima ndio tunaenda huko kwenye vyanzo vya maji.
Ndiri kutarisira kuti bhiwazi yakupera kwariri kuenda richiita ndandiri kamunhu kasilimu kadiki but izvozvo ndiri kuenda ndichiita ndichisimba nokuti handisisiri affected nokuti ndaamunhu ari kuratidza kuti ndakazwisa kuti kuchipatara kunoporesa. Saka tiri kukumbira kuti kana vakuuya please vasazokanganwa vabereki vemushamba kana kuti Zimbabwe mouya moita vanhu sezvazviri. Tiri mupfure kune tori nevamwe vakamiririra vakanzwa kuti takauya kupurogiramu iyoyi vari kuda kuzonzwa kuti vabereki mana mudhuluzi havari kuzodzoka here.
Naendelea vizuri, dawa zimenisaidia kwani hata uzito umeongezeka. Kwa hiyo ninatarajia kuwa wazazi wapewe dawa zaidi sana Mukure ambako ndo zinahitajika zaidi.
Dambudziko remasola pakliniki yedu takabirwa mabhatiri emasola. So far hapana kana chatinacho chakushandisa ipapo. Thank you.
To ours, the solar is not working because the batteries were stolen, so there's something that needs to be fixed.
Kwa clinic ambao huwa wanaenda, sola haifanyi kazi, kwa hiyo inahitaji marekebisho pia.
We will have Sadoki coming up to share her experience, or his. Is it Sadoki? His. Can we also ask that the affected voices speak in small segments so then we have a chance for the translators to speak as well?
Kwa jina kama nilivyojieleza awali, naitwa Sadoki Tungarazia.
As I stated earlier, my name is Sadoki Tungarazia.
Mzaliwa wa wilaya ya Ukerewe,
I'm born in Ukerewe district,
mkoa wa Mwanza.
Mwanza region.
Nimekuwa mwathirika wa ugonjwa huu tangu mwaka 1000. Tatizo hili limenianza mwaka 2019.
This problem has started in 2016.
Tangu hapo nimekuwa nikiendelea na matibabu.
Since then I've been in treatment.
The problem here started 2016. From that time nilikuwa ni treatment.
Tokea mwaka 2023 ndipo nimekuwa mgonjwa zaidi, lakini kulingana na matibabu niliyokuwa nikipewa sasa, madaktari wetu wamekuwa wakituhudumia vizuri sana pale wilayani kwetu Ukerewe.
Since 2023, which was last year, being severely sick, but I've been getting treatment at Nansio District Hospital and it has been helpful.
Lakini kabla ya hapo tatizo lilipelekea kutapika damu kwa wingi sana.
Before that, this condition led to severe vomiting blood.
Ndisati ndarapwa condition iyi yaindikonzeresa kuti ndirutse ropa zvisingaite.
Pamoja na kutapika damu, tumbo lilianza kuvimba pia.
In addition to that, the abdomen also started swelling.
Pamusoro pazvo dumbu rangu raivimba.
Kulingana na mradi ulioanzishwa sasa, nimekuwa nikiendelea na matibabu vizuri sana na matokeo yake ni mazuri.
So since the project at Nansio District Hospital started for management, I've been getting treatment and I'm doing well.
Kubva pakatangwa chirongwa ndandichiwana mushonga kubva kumahospital and zvirikurapi.
Lakini kwa mapendekezo yangu, wilaya yetu imekuwa imeathiriwa sana. Nilikuwa ninapendekeza kwamba magonjwa haya yafuatiliwe sana mara kwa mara, hasa maeneo ya vijijini.
So my suggestions on this, our district has been severely affected with these conditions, and I suggest that the program should go to these areas because they are very affected.
District yedu yakakanganiswa zvikuru, yaka-affectwa zvikuru nezvirwere izvi, ende tinotarisirawo kuti zoni project yacho ienderere mberi kune mamwe madistrict, vasvike kune mamwe maarea.
Kwa sababu wilaya yetu ni wilaya ambayo imezungukwa na ziwa Victoria,
Because our district has been surrounded by the Lake Victoria.
District yacho yakakomberedzwa neLake Victoria.
hivyo maji yake si salama sana na sehemu nyingi maji yake yana kina kifupi.
And the water there is not very safe.
Mvura yacho ikoko haina utsanana.
Pendekezo langu lingine ni kwamba ingefanyika utafiti wa mara kwa mara, na kwa namna hiyo kuwezesha kupatikana kwa watu wengi ambao wameathirika, na inapowezekana kupatikana kwa watu hao wapatiwe matibabu mapema.
My other suggestion is the studies should continue on these areas so that to identify the people who are affected so that they get treatment early.
Tinotarisira kuti study irambe ichiitika kuma-areas aya kuti vaone vanhu vari kuaffectwa nechirwere, vamwe voramba vachirapwawo.
Kwa sababu imeonekana kichocho ni ugonjwa hatari sana na unaathiri vitu vingi sana tumboni.
Because I've seen schistosomiasis is a very dangerous disease and it has a lot of effects.
Because ndakaona kuti zvoni schistosomiasis chirwere chine ma-effects akawanda ende chakashata zvikuru, chinokanganisa utano.
Naomba kuwasilisha.
He has concluded.
Apedza.
So we'll be moving on to the lymphatic filariasis affected. And can I call on Frida to talk about her experience? Can I call on Mashaka? Oh, Frida. Okay.
Habari zenu. naitwa Frida kama nilivyojitambulisha mwanzo. Ni mgonjwa wa matende. Kuanzia 2003 mguu ulikuwa unavimba taratibu unaongezeka. Nikaja kwenda kituo cha Nimri ambako wanadili na magonjwa ambayo hayachukuliwi hayapewi kipaumbele sana. Nilianza kwenda pale nikawa napewa dawa, ila kwa sasa naendelea vizuri, mguu unapungua taratibu. Asante. Pia bila kusahau kipindi cha nyuma kidogo nilikutana na madaktari kutoka India, wakawa wanapunguza nyama. Walikuja kwa ajili ya shida hizi miguu, wanafanya like plastic surgery. Kwa walikuwa wanapunguza kidogo, wanapunguza nyama, wanaunganisha mishipa ili maji na damu zisafiri pamoja.
My name is Frida, and I've been suffering from lymphatic filariasis. And I met doctors from India who have been doing surgeries for repair so as to make sure the lymph fluid flows well.
Ndinonzi Frida, ndinorwara lymphatic filariasis. Ndakaonekwa nemadoctors anobva kuIndia kuti vaite surgery kuti at least mvura inowanikwa zvakanaka.
Okay, can I start? Good afternoon, all of you again. It's my honor to stand before you and thank you all for inviting me for this special meeting to share my life history on the beneficial and tireless effort in helping the world from this suffering various diseases like the one I'm struggling for. Thank you. And much greeting from my parents and family. My name is Frida Msengi. I was born in Tanzania, almost 23 years old, currently 24 years. Currently, I'm studying my diploma in clinical medicine at Mvumi Medical College in Mpwapwa district. The prevailing condition began swelling of my leg when I was a little in 2003. My left leg began to swell, especially on the feet, with no pain. As the days goes, the swelling was worsening in ascending toward my knee.
Zanzi gumbo rake rakatanga kuzvimba 2003 and ndizvo zvetikuwesena zvisvika kumavi.
After observing the changes on my leg, it's when my parents took to the hospital for further checkup, where they checked me and eventually prescribed me with different medicine. There was no improvement after using medication given. This inforced us to get to different hospitals for seeking for help. Doctors informed me that I had problem on my lymphatic system, and This ended up affecting my leg later on. My parents sent me on to NIMRI, where the Ministry of Health program called the Integrated Tropical Disease Control was residing. They had anti-inflammatory medicine, albendazole and ivermectin. My leg was badly swollen, and we went from another hospital called Sanitas Hospital, which is located in the place called Walioba Mikocheni in Dar es Salaam, where we found a collaboration doctor from India who are dealing with patients like me. My parents took me to, we met doctors, they examined me and they recommended from surgery called tissue removal. The surgery was costing so much of money. My parents failed to secure such amount of big money. We went back home with father home. Thank you, the organizers, for inviting me to share some parts of my life history. I'm thankful to my parents, families, relatives, friends, colleagues, and public at large who helped during tough time. Really, I have been always supporting to me. Thank you.
Can I call upon Mashaka, who'll be sharing their experience with lymphatic filariasis as well? Can we also get the rest of the affected voices to speak about what should be done about their diseases, as well as just talk about their general experience?
Habari za saizi. Naitwa Mashaka Kasim Mwango, ni mgonjwa wa matende. Mgonjwa ambao niliupata miaka mingi sana toka nipo shule ya msingi, takriban zaidi ya miaka 20 iliyopita. Kwa ujumla ni ugonjwa ambao una changamoto nyingi ambazo zinasababisha kupatwa na maradhi ya mara kwa mara, inasababisha kupatwa na changamoto hata katika utafutaji wa kimaisha.
kuita uma activities anoita kuti munhu akwanise kuunza mali.
Kutokana na changamoto ambazo zinazosababishwa na ugonjwa, kwa maoni yangu ambao nilikuwa napenda kama kutakuwa kuna uwezekano wa kufanyika kama wagonjwa wa matatizo haya kupata bima ya afya.
I recommend that for individuals affected with this condition to be helped find health insurance, which is very important.
Ningependa kushare kisa kimoja ambacho mimi kilimekuta kama miaka miwili nyuma iliyopita. Nilisababishwa na matatizo haya ya ugonjwa wa matende.
I would like to share a story that happened 2 years ago, which is due to this condition.
Yes, unoita kuita historia katika pandili makore mavili akura and is related to that reason as well.
Nilipata homa kwanza kali sana na ilisababisha mguu ukawa umetoka vipele vingi, baadaye ukatumbuka ukasababisha vidonda vingi kwenye miguu.
I was very ill. I had fever, but also on my lower limb, it developed these blisters and lesions which ruptured later. He had lesions in the lower limbs, which were blisters, which ruptured later.
Kutokana na matatizo haya yalionikuta, ilinilazimu kulazwa hospitali kwa muda wa miezi 3.
Because of that condition, I was admitted in the hospital for 3 months.
Because of condition hiyo ndakagara muchipatara for mwezi 3.
Kutokana na gharama ambazo huwa zinatokea huko hospitali kwa muda wa miezi 3, nadhani ni gharama kubwa sana.
Because I was admitted for a long time, the cost was very high.
Because ndakagara muchipatara kukova yakareba, mibhadhara yacho yanga yakawanda.
Ndio maana nilikuwa nasema kwamba vema zaidi kama ikipatikana mambo ya bima huwa inaweza ikasaidia katika utatuzi wa kitu kama hichi kipindi kinapotokea.
That's why I recommended helping those who are affected with these diseases to have a health insurance, which will help in these things.
This kind of kukurudzira kuti vanowana nechirwere ichi vakwanise kuwana health insurance zvinovabatsira pakurapwa.
Ni matatizo ambayo sidhani kama nitapenda kunani sana kama kutakuwa kuna uwezekano wa kuona mguu wangu baada ya kutokea matatizo haya ulivyokuwepo baada ya kutokea matatizo haya ya vidonda katika mguu. Wanasema kwamba kama kutakuwa kuna uwezekano wa kuona vidonda ambavyo vilivyosababisha matatizo haya ya mguu wangu ulivyokuwepo. Ina shida.
So he's saying that he's ready to show the part that is affected if you want to see. He's ready to show.
And kana muchida kuona pavaka affect papacho vanokwanisa kuratidzai.
It is okay. Yani kama ilisababisha vidonda vingi. Okay, haina shida. Sawa sawa. Kwa hiyo tuendelee. Ni kwamba kikubwa ambacho na lengo ambalo nilikuwa nataka kuzungumza ni kama hivyo, kwamba kutilia mkazo matatizo haya ya maradhi yanayotukumba, iweze kutazama kwa ukaribu kwa wagonjwa husika, kutokana na matatizo yetu, kwamba tunakumbwa na matatizo ya maradhi ya mara kwa mara, na ni vema zaidi, ombi langu lilikuwa nataka liende mbele kwa ajili ya kufikiriwa kwa wagonjwa, kutatuliwa matatizo ya maradhi la kwanza. Asante.
Can I please have Hamis come up? Is Hamis here? No. Okay. Tafadzwa, can we come up? Oh, no, sorry. Hamis is coming up. I didn't see that. No, you can come. You can come up, yeah. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Naitwa Hamisi Njani Hamisi. Ni mwathirika wa maradhi ya matende.
My name is Njani Hamisi, and I've been affected with lymphatic filariasis.
Yalinianza tokea mdogo.
The condition started since I was young.
Nilianza na homa kali sana, nilikuwa zinaanza kwa homa.
The condition started initially with high-grade fever.
Na mitoki kwenye mapaja. Nikaanza kufanya mpango kwenda hospitali kufanya matibabu.
I started making arrangements to go to the hospital for treatment.
Kufanya vipimo, lakini kucheki unaambiwa malaria, inakuja malaria matokeo.
So when I did the test, they told me I had malaria.
Wakati mara ya pili tulipokwenda tukaambiwa tuanze saa 6 usiku tuwe vipimo ili tucheki damu saa 6 usiku.
The second time I went to the hospital, I was told to take the test at 12 at midnight.
Lakini hata hivyo vipimo havikuweza kupatikana vizuri kutokana na maradhi haya. Nakuja matokeo ndio yale, nakuja malaria wakati maradhi ni haya.
But the same results came out that I had malaria.
Na wakati huo dozi za hizi dawa tulikuwa hazianza kutolewa kama sasa hivi. Kwa hiyo maradhi yalikuwa yanakuja kila siku na homa kali.
And by that time medications were not provided.
After that, test malaria.
Yeah. Nilipoanza kutolewa hizi dawa wakati miguu ilikuwa ishaanza kuathirika sana.
The moment I started being given medication, the condition was very severe.
Panakazotanga kupiwa mshonga, condition yake yakapomba.
Baadaye ndo naendelea na zile dawa kidogo, kazi zile homa zinapungua umakali, lakini bado homa zinaendelea.
After getting treatment and was in treatment, I improved a bit, but the fever continued to recur.
After that, mpaka mkaita my improvement, but the number teaches of pizza mwili.
lakini saa hizi kidogo afadhali, lakini bado homa zinaendelea.
I've improved, but I'm still getting fever, recurrent fever.
Kwa hiyo tunaomba hii taasisi kushika mambo hayo pema kipaumbele ya maradhi, tofauti na kauli inosemwa maradhi sio kuwa na kipaumbele. Kwa sababu kauli mbe maradhi na vile vile yenye kipaumbele, lakini maradhi yanasumbua sana. Homa zake ni kali, maumivu makali.
In contrast to the name neglected tropical disease, is suggesting that these conditions should be highly considered in contrast to its name.
Kwa hiyo naomba kuwasilisha.
Yes, conclude.
Can we now have Tafadzwa come up? Thank you.
Ini ndonzi Tafadzwa Banda.
My name is Tafadzwa Banda.
Jina langu naitwa Tafadzwa Banda.
Ndinobva kuZimbabwe, kuShamba, Masonora Central.
I come from Zimbabwe, from Shamba, Mashonaland Central.
Natokea Zimbabwe, Shamba, Mashonaland Central.
Ndine dambudziko regumbo nonzi elephantiasis.
I suffer from elephantiasis.
Nasumbuliwa na matende.
Rakatanga 2023. Sorry. Rakatanga 2013. Svika pari zvino.
The condition started in 2013 up to now.
Ilianza tokea mwaka 2013 mpaka hivi sasa.
Saka rinondirwadza, rinobuda mvura, parinondirwadza ndinoenda kuchipatara. Asi ndakasvika kuchipatara, pamwe mamwe mapirizi acho nenge pasina.
So the leg is very painful, and sometimes when it's painful, it comes out water or I think fluid. And every time, sometimes when I go to the hospital, the medication is not available.
Mguu unaniuma sana na ukivimba muda mwingine unatoa majimaji, na nikienda hospitali kuna muda ambapo dawa hamna.
Saka ndinotarisira kuti mundibatsirewo naizvozvo gumbo rangu kuti riwanewo kupora.
So I hope this should be able to help me so that my leg feels better.
Matarajio yangu mtaweza kunisaidia ili nipate nafuu na huu.
Parinondirwadza ndinochema, handikwanise kana kuita chinhu kana kuita sei, handikwanise, ndenge ndichingochema ndakangorara. Kuda kuenda kutoilet ndinobatwa, kuda kugeza ndinoita kugezeswa.
When the leg is painful, I'm not able to do anything. It also affects my mobility. And also, I then have to rely on others for personal hygiene.
Mguu ukiwa unaniuma sana, siwezi kutembea. Kwa hiyo inasababisha nitegemee watu wengine kunisaidia katika shughuli zangu.
Saka ndinoti Dr. Mandara mundibatsirewo. Ndotofara Professor Mduluza pawakanditi ndisvike kuno necondition yangu, saka ndotofara kuti ndisezva ndauya kunoku mukwanisewo kundibatsirawo ndiri kunoku.
So, Dr. Mandara, I'm so happy that I'm here. I'm hoping you'll be able to help me with my condition. I was happy when Prof. Duduza said I'll be coming to this meeting.
Na nimefurahi kwa sababu Dr. Mandara yuko hapa na Profesa Mduruza, kiamini kwamba wataenda kunisaidia.
Ndinosvika kuti vanhu vemuvhileji mandogara vanondiseka nezvandakaita. Ndinotosvika pakugara mumba chaimo nekunyara nekufamba kwekuti vanhu vanondiseka, asiwo kune vamwe vakuziwo condition vanenge vachingondinyaradzawo.
So in my village, most people laugh at me because of my condition. So most of the time I end up having to stay in the house because I'm shy to go outside. However, there's some that understand the condition that have been helpful and they usually try and calm it down.
Kwenye kijiji ninapoishi kuna wengine ambao wananicheka, kwa hiyo huwa nakaa ndani ili kuzuia kucheka, lakini kuna ambao pia wanaelewa hii hali na wamekuwa wakinisupport.
Saka ndinotiwo kune vakadaro vasara kumba vatoriwo neshure yekuda kupora. Saka ndinoti nemo muzvipatara zvedu musinawo matreatment ekuti tinorapwa sei nemakondisheni yatinayo. Saka ndinokumbirawo kuti muwane muchiisawo mapiritsi nana chiremba vaonewo kuyo muzvipatara zviri kudhuzewo nesu.
Just hope at this time we have doctors with medication in some of the hospitals that are closer to us.
Ni matarajio yangu kwamba kutakuwa na madaktari na dawa kwa ajili ya haya matatizo.
Izvozvo ndapedza.
Thank you so much.
So we'll be going back to the schistosomiasis affected because there are two people that we haven't covered. So can I call on Shumirai? Sorry.
Masikati akanaka, indoitwa Shumirai Ndoga.
Good afternoon, my name is Shumirai Ndoga.
Habari za mchana, kwa majina naitwa Shumirai Ndoga.
Ndinobva kuZimbabwe, Mash Central, Mufure Clinic.
I come from Zimbabwe, Mashonaland Central, Mufure Clinic.
Natokea Zimbabwe, Mashonaland Central, Mufure. Kijiji cha Mufure.
Dambudziko rangu ndinorwara nebalazia.
I suffer from bilharzia.
Nasumbuliwa na kichocho.
Ndakatanga kurwara bilharzia ndiri mwana mudiki ndengoperezeka. Ndakaendawo kuchipatara ndikapiwa mapiritsi.
I started suffering from this condition when I was a child, and I went to the clinic to get some, and I got some treatment.
Hii hali inaanza kunisumbua tokea niko mdogo na nilienda kwenye kituo cha afya kupata matibabu.
Pari zvino inini kana mazuva angu ekuenda ekuteera kumwedzi handitoaziva nokuti rinongochero pandienda ngoendera.
I mostly have irregular menstrual periods.
Mpangilio wa hedhi yangu ya kila mwezi haujakaa sawa.
Inini chikumbiro chandinacho ndechokuti pari zvino kuchipatara kwedu chaiko chaiko kuti tiwane nguva yekuti titariswewo chibereko semadzimai. Hakuna madoctors anouya kumaclinics kwedu, asi kana uida kutotariswa unotoenda kuHarare, nokuti kuHarare kwachona kuti uende unenge uchitodawo mari yokuti uende ikoko.
At our clinics, we don't have health practitioners to look at our uterus. For us to get treatment or assistance, we have to travel to Harare. However, we don't have enough money for the traveling.
Kwenye kituo chetu cha afya hatuna wahudumu wa afya ambao wanaweza kaangalia afya yetu ya uzazi. Kwa hiyo hivyo natulazimu kwenda Harare kwa ajili ya kupata
tozoti panozopiwawo mapiritsi tachingotarisawo ngoti kupiwa kunoita mapiritsi kupiwa kuita mapiritsi vana kupiwa kubva pa 5 years kusvika pa 15 years. Saka tachingokumbira dai angakwanisawo ngopiwa kubva kana achikwanisika pamwana ane 6 months kusvikira pa munhu mukuru, munhu wese angokwanisa kubatsirikana panhau yebhalazi.
We are hoping that everyone gets treatment for bilharzia from 6 months to adults.
Matarajio yetu ni kwamba kila mtu apate matibabu ya kichocho tokea mtoto mwenye miezi 6 mpaka kwa watu wazima.
Tinoitawo mikanda yatinoita asi tinozowanikwa tichidzvinyiriwa nekuti dzimwe dzenguva kuti ureisewo point kana kutaurawo chichemo vanhu vese vanokutarisira pasi nokuti vanenge vachingokushora vachingoti hauna chaunoziva plus unenge usinawo mwana kana chaunenge uinacho plus tinononokawo pakufunga nokuti ndinozoreisa point nguva inenge yatopera ende unozozvifunga papai nokuti unenge uchitarisa situation yaunenge uinayo uchizvidzikisira pasi.
We do some savings group, but then in most cases we are mostly suppressed as they feel like we are useless, we can't do anything to sustain ourselves.
Tuna vikundi kwa ajili ya kusevu hela, lakini mara nyingi tunaonekana ni vikundi ambacho hatuwezi kufanya chochote.
Tozokumbirawo maproject kuti dai takwanisawo kuwanawo zvinotibatsira magadheni tinoita asi kuti tichienda kumagadheni kuene nhau yebhalazia taakutya futi kuti tikaramba tipinda mumvura mapiritsi kuzvipatara hatisi kuawana kuti ndiende kufamasi kunotenga piritsi ndendisina mari dzimwe dzenguva ndiri kusvika kuchipatara mushonga yachona kunenge kusina saka tichikumbira kuti dai zvichikwanisika tiisirwewo mapiritsi muzvipatara.
We are asking for medications like to have pills at the hospitals and also to have some projects that avoid us from going to the rivers. She said sometimes we can do gardening, but for us to be able to do the gardening, we have to go and fetch water from the rivers. So at least if we have other projects that does not involve us going to the rivers, it would be appreciated.
Matarajio yetu ni kwamba dawa zipatikane kwenye vituo vya afya, lakini pia kwenye shughuli zetu za umwagiliaji kuwe na miradi ambayo tutaweza kufanya umwagiliaji bila sisi kwenda mtoni kuchota maji.
Ndatenda.
We'll have the last person today, Sister Imelda.
Naitwa Sister Imelda Mwima Mbogosi.
My name is Sister Imelda Mwima Mbogosi.
Ninasumbuliwa na maradhi ya kichocho.
And I've been suffering from schistosomiasis.
Sister Imelda and schistosomiasis.
Nilianza uvimbe mwaka 2013. Nilianza uvimbe wa tumboni mwaka 2013.
So I noticed a swelling in my abdomen in 2013.
Muna 2013 ndakaona ndichizvimba dumbu.
Baada ya hapo ndo mwaka 2024 2020.
After that, in 2024,
mwezi wa kwanza
January,
nikatapika damu.
I experienced vomiting floods.
Mushure meizvozvo muna January 2024 ndakatanga kurutsa ropa.
Baada ya kutapika damu nilienda hospitalini ya wilaya kutibiwa.
After vomiting blood, I went to the district hospital to get treatment.
Mushure mekurutsa ropa ndakaenda ku district hospital kuti ndigopiwa mshonga.
Nilipata tiba hiyo naishukuru, iliweza kunisaidia mpaka nilifikia muda huu wa kupata nguvu na kuweza kuja kwenye kikao hiki.
After I went to the hospital, I got treatment and I've been doing well since then.
Mushure mekunge ndaenda ku hospital ndakarapwa and iko zvinozvikuita naye.
Kwa ushauri wangu nashauri hii tiba iliyoniwezesha mimi kama mwasilikaji wa kichocho, ninaomba iendelee, hasa na wengine wapo vijijini wanasumbuliwa na haya maradhi.
My suggestion is the program that managed to do treatment and I'm doing well should continue and focus on other people who are in the villages who could not come to the hospital.
Zotarisirwa kuti project yakaita kuti ndikwanise kurapwa ienderere mberi kusvika kune mamwe villages kuti vamwe vagonawo kurapwa.
Kwa sababu tunapopata maradhi haya jamii, hasa jamii inatunyanyasa sana.
Once we suffer from this condition, the society stigmatizes us.
Tinotarisirwa pasi nevanhu vemunharaunda medu necondition yatorarama nayo.
Ninaombani hii huduma iendelee ili na sisi wagonjwa tutakapokuwa tunatoka hapa tuende vijijini, tuambie wenzetu wagonjwa wahudhurie hospitalini na huduma hii iendelee.
I suggest that this program should continue and we will also go and share the information to the others in the villages about the program so that they can come and get treatment.
Tinotarisirwa kuti program ienderere mberi. Toinawo tichinoudza vamwe vanenge vakasara kumamisha kuti zoni vagona kuwanawo treatment vabatsirwe.
Asanteni.
Thank you. Maita basa.
Thank you to all the affected voices for sharing their experiences. Do we have any comments or questions for them?
Tunashukuru kwa wote ambao wamekuja kushare na sisi historia zao za ugonjwa. Tunakaribisha kwa maswali au maoni yoyote.
Just a small one. I've heard from Madame from Zimbabwe. She spoke very well about on how the infection, the problem affects the economic activities and what should be done for them to be able to. I want to hear, probably for those of you who have spoken, if you can add something small. How does this condition affect your involvement in the socio-economic activities, especially for the Swahili speakers? Nachotaka kama mnaweza mkazungumza kidogo haya maradhi, hali mlionayo inaathiri vipi shughuli zenu za kiuchumi, na je zinapunguzia nafasi ya fursa kifanyike? For colleagues from Zimbabwe, how does the illnesses or the conditions you are in, the disability, affect your day-to-day economic activities? And I thought I was talking to myself. I thought I'm so audible. Okay, for brothers and sisters from Zimbabwe, just briefly, those of you who have spoken, except Madam, I heard her very clearly. The rest of you, how did the current condition, the morbidities you have, the disabilities you have, affect your day-to-day economic activities, and what do you think should be done to ensure that you guys also enjoy the same treatment like others. We want to capture something there. I've spoken in Swahili, I think fellow Tanzanians have also picked up. I want just brief, in your own words, this is not an examination, just relax, just speak the way you think. If it could be done this way, how could be better? Do you understand? Yeah, good, yeah.
Who's translating?
Thank you. So while we are thinking about it, titigona kupindura Prof. Kazioba, I have a comment. Pane zvinhu zvekuti tanzwisisana. Our colleague from Tanzania, he mentioned something interesting, which was the health insurance. It is difficult to afford health care at the moment, and one of the big things about neglected tropical diseases is there tends to be called diseases of poverty and diseases of marginalized or neglected populations, which makes access to healthcare very difficult if you're paying out of pocket. And a lot of countries now do not have free healthcare. So I really like the suggestion by our colleague from Tanzania that there should be a way to make health insurance accessible or available for our colleagues with neglected tropical diseases. Now, Louisa here from Kenya, you guys have health insurance. So perhaps after I finish, you might say a little bit about how that's really revolutionized healthcare, because it gives health access to everyone. And then the other thing that I heard, which was quite important, was from Tafatwa, because we are very interested in mental health. And Tafatwa mentioned that there are people who ostracize her, but more important, there are people who comfort her and support her in their community now because they understand her condition. And this is changing. And the reason we are all here today is to start by changing the narrative in our community. To say, look at us. This happened. We are people like you. And we need to be integrated in society and to continue being fully active members of the society. And you cannot do that when you are ostracizing other people and neglecting them. Now let me see if I can say that in Shona quickly. Nyaya yakataura pandeyekuti kana uchirwara kuti unobhadhara uri kuchipatara zvinhu zvinotora mari yakawanda, kurwara kwemukadzi mumba, kurwara kwemhuri yese, ndekuti uchatora mari inoshandiswa nemhuri kuti uende kuchipatara. Inyika dzishoma kwekuti unorapwa mahara, asi kune dzimwe nyika dzinenge Kenya dzine health insurance yekuti unobhadhara padiki-diki. Kana warwara, government inopedzisa kuvhara. Hama yedu yekuno kuTanzania yataura kuti tinogona kuita chirongwa chakadaro ndekuti chinobatsira. Nyaya yehealth insurance haidzi munhu wese unobhadhara zvakaenzana. Zvinonzi unobhadhara paunokwanisa. Ndiyo situation iri kuKenya. Saka ndichakumbira Louisa kuti ambotitaura mbichana nezvekuti paukenya. Nyaya yechipiri yandataura ndeyekuti tanzwa Tafatwa achitaura kuti paakaonekwa ane chirwere ichi, pane vanhu vanomuseka, pane vanhu vanomushungurudza nekuti havanzwisise chirwere chake. Asi pane vamwewo mumisha mavo vakunzwisisa chirwere ichi, saka vanomunyaradza. Tese tinozviziva kuti nyaya yekunyaradzana inyaya yakakosha, ndekuti unorwara, handiti pirazi yatoziva kuti chirwere chepfungwa, zvinorwarisa pekuti paite unoshaya kuti unodzoreka sei. Saka kana usingagare nevanhu vanokunzwisisa kuti vakukwanise kukudzora, zvinhu zvinenge zvisina kunaka. Saka tinoshora kuti panzi pamunodzokera kumakomenti enyu munenge muchitaura tine chirwere ichi chinowanikwa muwanhu. Kana tarwara kudai so musasikande musango, tichengetei, ngatishandei tese kuitira kuti tione kubatsirana kuvaka upenyu hwedu tese tiri mukomiti. Ndo nyaya yacho. Saka regai ndimbosvika pana Louisa kuti ambotitaurira zvishoma shoma nenyaya yekuti health insurance inoshanda sei kuKenya. Louisa, you're a good Swahili speaker. You'll have to explain both.
Yeah, that's a challenge between Kenyan Swahili and Tanzanian Swahili, but I'll give it a try. Kile ambacho nasema ama dada Densha atanisaidia kidogo. Manake tuna changamoto kidogo kati ya Kiswahili cha Kenya na Kiswahili cha Tanzania kidogo. But what I wanted to iterate is, yes, you need that access to healthcare. And it's not the ones who should be able to have access to healthcare, and it's also supposed to be accessible to those who do not have that much. So as much as that is one important thing that will actually be in addition to other interventions, the other thing that I think was mentioned from our affected voices is the fact that yes, they go to these healthcare or health facilities, but they do not have equipment as well. So yes, we need health insurance, we need accessibility to hospitals, but we also need to have the government institutions being able to provide these services in these institutions and have the medics who should be there to help all these people who are affected by these diseases. So yes, Kenya is doing well in terms of being able to, give everyone a platform to be able to have access to that help in the different health centers. But again, we also need to equip them as well with medication, with the necessary equipment that are needed. So if I can switch over to Swahili, Prudential atanisaidia hapo kidogo, lakini kile ambacho naeleza sasa hivi ni Kenya ina hatua nzuri, imechukua hatua nzuri ambapo kila mtu anaweza kupata huduma kutumia bima ya afya kwa wote, na hiyo ni hali nzuri ambapo angalau kila mtu ana uwezo wa kupewa matibabu kutokana na magonjwa yoyote. Lakini kile kitu ambacho nimekipata kutoka kwa wale ambao wameathirika na haya magonjwa ni vyema kwamba nchi yetu ama ministries zetu zikuwe na uwezo wa kuweka hizi kuwa na madawa kwenye hizi hospitali ama huduma za afya, ndipo wagonjwa wanapokuja kuhudumiwa wakuwe na madawa ziwe tayari ama instruments, specialized instruments ambazo zipo kwenye hizi hospitali. So hayo ndio maoni ya kwangu. In addition to what the health insurance, we also need to equip all these medical facilities as well. Thank you.
Can I add on Zimbabwe, before this speak on health insurance? I think in Zimbabwe, yes, there's medical aid, but there's also, although there's HIV, where every worker is checked, but it's only that what is required is the policymakers need to be sensitized so that it can cater for neglected populations. Because like HIV and other diseases, those are catered, every worker is checked. But I think for the health of these diseases that affect the poor, the marginalized, and then lead into serious morbidity and disability, I think what is required is sensitized special attention, like an exemption, something like that. Because the medical aid is only for workers. For those in the rural areas, I don't think that it's possible, except making a policy that excludes them from all the payments, and hence that whenever this condition is there, presented in clinic, you need to give it special care without any pay. Thank you.
In the interest of time, I think we can have the affected voices speak about or address the comments and questions after lunch. So now it's lunchtime, so you can go and eat.
I'm allowed to say, since my other colleagues have said something, the presentations from the affected, what I realized, you felt sick, you went to look for assistance, and then from there, you went back, got tested again, whatever it is. But throughout that journey, whilst the problem was getting worse, did you point out that I think this is where the condition was missed out? Now look where I am. Because, you know, we talk about this condition that you can prevent development of diabetes. I don't know whether did you manage to identify, I think, the help that I'm getting from this health facility, from this hospital, delaying so that time, I think we have to be able to now I speak insurance. Amakatanga kunza maprofesa makaita kunge kuona kuti daita barazi wanda kurapa kuzopedza kusafanira ine kutsvaga rubatsiro kwamai kusatarisa rwendo rwacho rwese pane pamuri kuona nekuti apa kapa ndokufunga kunyatsokuona kuti apa kapa zvese zvakaita musakuwana havana kundibatsira inini ndatonoka something which we need to know at what point things went missing. Thank you.
Profesa anachoelezea ni kwamba mmejaribu kuelezea stori zenu, hali za ugonjwa tokea mlipoanza kuumwa mpaka mlipopata matibabu, lakini kuna pointi moja ya maelezo ambayo angependa kusikia zaidi. Ni wapi ambapo changamoto ilikuwa, ambapo mnahisi mngepata ile pointi, mngepata matibabu, ingeweza kuwasaidia ugonjwa usiende kuendelea mpaka ulipofikia hali ikawa mbaya au kupata ulemavu mpaka ugonjwa ulipofikia? Ni pointi gani ambayo mnaona mngepata matibabu mapema ingesaidia, au ni changamoto zipi ambazo uliziona kipindi cha kutafuta matibabu?
I think we have to go to lunch now, so we won't be able to address any more comments or anything. So it's lunchtime now. We can talk after lunch.
Haya magonjwa yameweza kuathiri ufanyaji wenu wa kazi na hasa shughuli za kiuchumi na shughuli za kijamii katika maisha yetu ya kila siku. Kama ulikuwa unafanya biashara, ulikuwa unafanya nini, lakini haya yote yameweza kuathiri wewe kuweza kufanya shughuli zako. Lakini pia mimi ningependa kusikia pia yameathiri kiasi gani kama una familia, kiasi gani familia yako imeathirika kwa sababu ya wewe kupata tatizo hilo. Karibu kwa yoyote ambaye atakuwa na chochote anataka kushirikisha.
May I also ask our health workers, our clinicians, because over lunch they were complaining a lot about a few things that are stopping them from doing their job, which can easily be fixed. And can I volunteer, Sister Ngwarat?
Okay, thank you, Prof. I was just saying that in Zimbabwe, we don't have some of the medications which I heard from Prof. Humphrey for the treatment of elephantiasis. That's what I was complaining, and thank you that you said we can talk to Rebecca from Higher Life. So I'll just ask my senior sister, Sister Krienda, to help us so that she can talk to Rebecca to get those kind of medications that we don't have in Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Sasa alikuwa anatuelezea kwamba Zimbabwe kuna baadhi ya dawa ambazo zinahitajika kwa ajili ya matibabu ya matende ambazo hazipo. Kwa hiyo wataenda kuelezea zaidi.
So we are discussing about the issue of lymphatic filariasis, and our experience in Tanzania, we use ivermectin and albendazole. That is what we use for lymphatic filariasis. Meaning that ivermectin does kill the larval stage of the parasite, and albendazole does kill the adult form of the parasite. And because we also have onchocerciasis in the country, we cannot use the other drug, which is the etheric abamazine, because it causes other reactions which can be very severe to the people who are carrying the two type of parasites together. And he said in Zimbabwe you have only albendazole. Then I was wondering what is happening in Zimbabwe, because these are the drugs which are being distributed depending on the request of the country you make to the WHO. And I believe that in Zimbabwe you have very few foci of lymphatic filariasis as compared to what we have in Tanzania, for example, because the whole coast of ours is full of lymphatic filariasis. And we have gone, one of the successes we have in this country is the control of lymphatic filariasis. We have only some few pockets which are mainly with the disease. But otherwise, in Zanzibar, there are almost zero transmission of lymphatic filariasis. So what we have now to work on is the morbidities which have remained in our population. So we have our colleagues who have different forms of morbidities remaining, which does not mean that we have a transmission of the disease. Yeah. So what is happening in Zimbabwe is a question which we have.
Thank you. I'm not going to preempt our presentation. I think we have got the presentation for the experiences of nurses in Zimbabwe. So if I respond, I'm going to preempt our presentation as Zimbabwe. Thank you.
So no one wants to speak from the affected voices? No? Okay. We're going to have one last person speak, and that's Ngoni. Put their hand up, please. Oh, okay.
Habari za sasa hivi. Niliulizwa swali kuhusu kwamba kuhusu familia ni kwamba inaathirika vipi, kwa sababu tunapozungumzia masuala ya uchumi moja kwa moja kwamba kwa upande wa familia yako haiwezi kukaa sawa, na kutokana na matatizo haya tulikuwa tunazungumzia, unakuwa na vikwazo vingi katika masuala ya uchumi wako. Lazima familia yako, kama unakuwa na watoto kushindwa kusoma vizuri na gharama nyingine ambazo za maisha lazima zitakuwa zipo sawa. Tunazungumzia hilo.
A question was being asked on how this condition affects the economic stability of the family. He was responding that for these cases, the economic situation of the family is highly affected. And here we're talking about if you have children, they have to go to school, and other needs of the family need to be accomplished. So with this condition, it's hard to sustain the family.
Mfano kama ukiwa umepata tatizo hili wakati upo shule unasoma, yani inakuwa vigumu kwa wanafunzi wenzio ambao waliokuzunguka na wewe, hata katika matatizo kama ya masomo hayawezi akakaa sawa, kwa sababu utakuta shule nzima inakuchukulia wewe kama ni mtu aina fulani tuseme. Yani tunarudi katika masuala hayo ya ubaguzi, inapelekea mtu kutokuwa makini kwenye mambo ya masomo, kutokuwa makini hata katika masuala mengine baadaye kama ya kazi na vitu kama hivyo.
So he's saying in the context of education, so if you are suffering from this condition, it leads to stigmatization, and people around you at the school perceive you as different. So it brings challenges in educational.
Mfano kama mimi hapa niliteseka muda mwingi sana kwenye masuala ya matatizo ya mguu kabla sijaijua NIMR. Nilikopo mara kwanza Dr. Fred hapa, nilikutana na mtu akanielekeza kuhusu NIMR, na hata siku ya kwanza nilivyoenda alikuwa ameniona hali yangu ilivyokuwepo ya mguu ulivyokuwa hali yake. Kwa hiyo mwanzo ilikuwa nafikia stage mpaka hata suruali ile unaovaa inakuwa ina maji yanatoka. Kwa kweli nashukuru sana NIMR kwa matibabu ambayo walionipatia na wanaozidi kutoa. Nashukuru na naomba pongezi kwa hilo.
So he said prior the initiation of treatment, before being aware that NIMR is dealing with morbidities associated with this condition, the condition was very difficult, and it reached the extent where if he wears a trouser, the fluids from the lower limb leak. So he's very thankful for Dr. Mandara because he knew about the project and he got the treatment.
Na kwa mwisho katika kumalizia ni kama hivyo unasema kwamba kwa kweli huwa kuna changamoto nyingi ambazo zinatukuta kwenye familia na kwenye maisha ya kawaida ambayo tunaishi. Ni hilo kwa kumalizia. Asante.
In conclusion, he said that there are a lot of challenges that he's facing in the family and other social life.
Abel, can you also share what you were discussing at lunch? You told me a very nice story on how this thing is affecting your. Okay.
I think the MC really wanted me to eat so that I can get the energy to talk. So not wasting much time, I would like to thank Professor Taka, Professor, I forgot the name, Mutapi, for giving us the opportunity to meet up with our friends from this country. It was always my wish to be here. I thank you with the organizations and staff and all the projects that you are doing to the vulnerables. As for me, I always had this dream to show up how my life has been for the past 10 years. I've been challenged by swollen legs, which I believe was elephantitis. I never had the chance to know, to be 100% sure that it was elephantitis because I came from a poor family, so I could not afford for all the medication and the specialized doctors to be attended. So in 2014, that's when I developed the problem from where my legs began to swell, and I could not afford to go to any doctors. In 2016, when I was doing my final primary level, I faced the challenge whereby I could go to school in a coach card. I don't know if you know what it is. And that was my final year for my primary level. So it was so tough. But though I managed to become on the first position at my school, but and second on the district level of Shamba district. But as to my expectations, I really thought that that was my chance to be heard and seen by the world so that they can help me heal or help me advance my academics. But due to the ignorance of the community, some of the people who have access to help us, they see us as, I don't know the exact word to put it there, but we are left behind and we are not given the chance to prove who we are to the society. So after my final primary level, that's when I couldn't find the money to go to secondary school, which was Form 1. And from there, I started to hustle so that I could get the money for my Form 1 stuff. So due to the jobs and stuff I could weed, I could do anything possible for me to get the money, which made it easier for the infection to affect my health. They began to pain. And as they pain, I could not do anything. I could spend something like 2 weeks asleep, maybe 2 weeks fit. And whenever I try to do something to earn something, I would continuously encounter that problem. So due to that, our counselor, I forgot the person who was the counselor of Ward 15 Shamba by that time, he wrote us a letter to submit to the social welfare. My mom and I, we went to Shamba where we met different people who were working for the social organization there, but did not get help. We were chased out. I did not expect that at all. So that's when some of the nurses at Shamba Hospital, they were so embarrassed by the way we were treated. That's when they decided to call Dr. Chiteka, who had a surgery in Shamba. That's the guy who helped me with the scan, X-ray, a blood test, but nothing was found. Then he gave me the drugs which I could take whenever the pain took place. And that is what has been helping me for all this while. Then for the meantime, I cannot say the pain still exists, but they just swell. So in every community, I try to fit in, do something. I'm facing a challenge whereby I'm neglected. The industries, they say I'm not fit enough to go there, but at some point I'll have the qualification, but they continue to say you are not suitable for the position, which hurts me a lot. There was a time whereby I thought that I'm not part of the human beings. But as time goes on, you meet with people, different people who help us encounter such problems by counseling. It may not be a fund or something, but words itself helps better. That's how I managed to be here right now. And I give a lot of thanks to Dr. Chagre. He's been calling me each and every time, checking on me, making sure that everything is up to date until I've reached here. And in some of the programs like the police, the army, the defense forces, the nursing, I have been applying, trying to fit in, to prove to the society what I can do. But it has always been a problem to me that I didn't have any chance to do that. So it has always been my dream so that I can do something, achieve something, and show the society how best I can help them. We have people who need us, people who are comfortable of telling me something, the little ones. It has always been my dream to do something to them, but due to our conditions, we are neglected. We are seen as people who can help the society. I even remember some of the time people ask for ideas. Whenever I implement my idea, it's neglected, but later on you find out that this person has used the same point I've raised. Then why was I neglected? And I think that's the problem I've been facing all this while. And I wish the organization will help me encounter all these problems. Maybe if I can heal, I can fit in every position that I've been neglected. And then if I can do something which can help the society, my siblings, and all other people who requires my help. By all this I have said, I say thank you to you all.
Ndinopa kutenda kukuru kuna Professor Mduluza na Professor Mtapi nekundisvitsa kuno kwavakaita. Ndava ne10 years makumbo angu achizvimba. Asi mukukura taisakwanisa kuwana mari yekuti tiende kunoona ana chiremba kana ana mazvikokota vanobatsira. Muna 2016 ndaiendeswa kuchikoro ndiri muungoro. And kuchikoro ndainga ndiri shasha. Pachikoro ndakaita number 1, padistrict level ndikaita number 2. Asi munharaunda medu kuti ndizowanawo rubatsiro rwekuti ndienderere mberi nechikoro ndaisirirwa nevapazvirongwa zvacho zvinobatsira nekuti vaionawo inge ndisina chandinokwanisa kuita muupenyu. Saka ndakapedzisira ndakungwavha kuti ndiwanewo mari yekuti ndizoendese kusecondary school. Asi mukungwavha imomo marwadzo aiwedzera. Dzimwe nguva ndaiita kana mavhiki 2 ndakarara, pamwewo ndinge ndine mavhiki 2 ndiri mutano. But mukufamba kwenguva kansela weWard 4 vakazonyora tsamba kuti tisangane nawo neve-social welfare. Asi taenda ikoko mabatirwo atakaitwa aisaita takadzingwa and hatina kuwana rubatsiro. Asi panewo manesi akazoona kuti votibatsirawo sei, vakati lidha kune munhu akatibatsira. Asi ndakaitwa ma-x-ray nemamwewo matest but hapana chakaonekwa. Makumbo aingoramba achizvimba. Ndaisarudzwa kana pakutsvaga mabasa. Hapana ainditora nekuti vanenge vachiona kunge handina chandinokwanisa kuita. Ndakatombosvika panguva yandaifunga kuti handisi munhu. Ndakazosvika panguva yandaifunga kuti handisi munhu. Asi ndakazowanawo rubatsiro through counseling. Uyezve Dr. Chagwe ndinovatenda nekundibatsira kwavakaita, vaigara vachindifonera. Uyezve vakabatsira kuti ndisvike kuno kwandiri.
ndodawo kuratidzawo vanhu vemunharaunda kuti ndiri munhu uye ndine zvandinokwanisa kubatsira nazvo. Pamwe pacho mazano andinotaura haateererwe nevanhu asi zvikazotaurirwawo nemumwe ndo paunoona kuti idea yangu yandanga ndataura yashandiswa. Maita basa.
Namna ambavyo kuathiriwa na matende kumeleta changamoto nyingi kwenye maisha yake. Amekuwa na matende kwa takribani miaka 10 na kulingana na hali ambayo iko nyumbani hawakuwa na uwezo wa kuweza kupata matibabu kutokana na changamoto ya kipato. Lakini pia alielezea kwa upande wake amekuwa akijitahidi sana kwa nafasi yake kufanya vitu mbalimbali na kuwa bora katika kile anachokifanya. Mfano, alipokuwa shuleni wakati anafanya elimu yake ya msingi 2016 wakati anamaliza alikuwa wa kwanza darasani kwake, lakini pia kwenye wilaya alikuwa wa pili. Kitu ambacho alikuwa anajitahidi kufanya hata kama kulikuwa na changamoto mbalimbali alizokuwa anapitia pindi anasoma. Kingine muhimu alichokuwa anaelezea ni katika harakati za kutafuta msaada alielekezwa kwenda ustawi wa jamii ambako hakupokelewa vizuri, hakupata msaada ambao alikuwa anatarajia kupata. Hivyo ilipelekea kujisikia vibaya. Lakini anashukuru kuna manesi ambao walisaidia yeye kupata msaada na kupata matibabu, lakini pia namshukuru Profesa Taka na Dr. Tagi wamekuwa msaada mkubwa katika safari yake ya kupambana na hiyo hali. Kingine kikubwa alichokielezea ni namna ambavyo hii hali imekuwa changamoto kwake kwa kutafuta shughuli za kujipatia kipato. Mfano, alikuwa akijaribu na kujitahidi kuomba kazi mbalimbali kama za upolisi, kuingia kwenye program za manesi na kadhalika, lakini alikuwa hakubaliwi kwa sababu ya hali yake. Walikuwa wanasema hafiti kwenye hizo nafasi. Kwa hiyo imekuwa sana changamoto, lakini anachojaribu kusema ni kuwa kwa nafasi yake anajitahidi sana kuleta mabadiliko, afanye kitu kikubwa ambacho kitaweza kunufaisha maisha yake, ya familia yake na ya watu wengine. Hicho ndio nilichokuwa naelezea kwa ufupi.
Thank you, Ngoni. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Final comments? No? Okay. I think the plan is
I just wanted to comment on Zimbabwe. We do have medical aid for people who are not working, who are not formally employed. We have EcoSure, and you can pay as little as 50 cents per month. I think it can help you if you save for a month to all of you guys who are not employed.
any more comments?
Kuna ambaye ana maoni mengine angependa kuchangia? Karibu Sister Imani.
Za mchana.
Good afternoon.
Tangia nianze ugonjwa huu wa kichocho, kwa kweli familia yangu ilikuwa mashakani kwa sababu ikupata mahitaji yanayotakiwa, hasa watoto wangu waliokuwa wanasoma wengine kidato cha kwanza hadi form 4. Wakati mwingine walipata changamoto kuhusu na michango za shule, maana mimi baada ya kupata huu ugonjwa sikuweza kukidhi tena kufanya biashara. Mwili wangu ulikuwa dhaifu, sikuweza kufanya kazi ngumu wala kujitwisha ndoo sikuweza. Lakini
Sister Imelda is trying to explain how the condition has affected her family. In terms of, he has children who are attending school and there are expenses that need to be covered. But since the onset of the condition, she has not been able to get back to her usual activities that helps her to get money for that.
Baada ya hapo, hata mawasiliano ya kufanya kazi ili wanangu wapate kula, sikuweza kupata nguvu za kufanya kazi hasa za kilimo.
So she was not able to continue with the usual activities. For example, before the illness, she used to engage in farming. So she had no energy to do farming, so that to gain some money for the family needs.
Hadi watoto wanavyokwenda mashuleni, sikuweza kuchota wala ndoo ya maji, niliriki kuweza kufanya mambo ya kuweza kusaidiwa na watu hasa kama jirani zangu.
It reached an extent she could not even carry a bucket of water, so she needed help from the neighbors and the relatives to support her.
Saka sister Imelda kuti condition yavanayo yava affecta sei mupenyu wavo, kuti zvezvi zvinotonetsa twawane mari yekuti vana vaende kuchikoro, and futi zvinovakanganisa even kurima tinonge havakwanisi kurima nyange kutakura bhaketi rine mvura.
Ninashauri mtuwezeshe sisi wagonjwa wa kichocho, wa magonjwa mbalimbali, ili tuweze kuwa na miradi za kukizi maisha yetu.
She is suggesting that to support the people affected with these conditions so that they can be able to manage small projects so that to sustain the daily needs of the family.
Vari kuti zvorida zvakwanisira kuti vanhu vane zvirwere izvi vakwanisa kubatsirwa kuti ivo vazokwanisa kubatsira mhuri dzavo.
Pamoja na misaada kutumia wanafunzi wanaosoma kidato cha kwanza hadi cha mwisho.
With help with other needs, for instance, the children that are still attending school who need to be covered expenses for school. She has children that attend school standard 1 to form 4, so she still needs support.
Okay, vakutaura nezvekuti anenge achida kubatsirwawo nezvimwe zvinhu zvakafanira vana vavo vakuenda kuchikoro from standard 1 kusvika form 4.
Asanteni, tunaomba msaada kwenu.
Thank you, and we are highly request for your support.
Maita basa ndonyatsokumbira kubatsiro rwenyu.
Prospera sei.
Niniwo ndinoda rubatsiro pagumbo rangu. Kaenda kuchipatara tenge chida kubatsirwawo nezvirwere zvekuzvimba izvozvi gumbo. Saka tenge chidawo rubatsiro zvana tisati chaenderera mberi mumuviri medu. Todawo rubatsiro sekune kukasika tisati rakurwadza. Nezvakafanana tida kutestawo zvakafanana nezve-HIV, malaria ne-TB zvekuti soreduwo zviwanewo kubatsirwawo zvinogona kutibatsirawo nekukasika. Vana chiremba vedu manesi nezviremba odzidziswawo kuongorora zvezvimbo nekukasika, nekuti nenge ichibuda mvura chitirwadza takaendawo kuchipatara tenge tingobayiwawo tichinzi pamwe pacho unonzi tenga mushonga yaunenge usinawo mari, then kana kuti kunenge kuchinzi hakuna mushonga. Saka tenge tichida kuti
nekoko kwavariyo ndouyo ndowasvikawo kwedu achitibatsirawo.
Good afternoon. I need your help when I go to the hospital so that I can get help before it gets worse or even before it gets too painful. And also we would like that at least in the hospitals we go to be equipped with other tests like, for example, HIV, TB, and malaria. And also would like the nurses and doctors to be trained to be able to diagnose and treat these diseases early.
Alikuwa anaelezea kwamba anahitaji msaada ya matibabu kabla hali haijawa mbaya au maumivu hayajazidi kuongezeka. Lakini pia mapendekezo yake ni kwamba vituo vya afya viwe na vifaa tiba ambavyo ni muhimu katika kupambana na haya magonjwa, lakini pia kuwezesha manesi na madaktari ambao wako katika hivyo vituo kuwa na uwezo wa kutambua magonjwa na kuyatibu.
Masikati akanaka. Isu ndine chichemo chikumbiro munzvimbo dzedu dzatigere mumisha. Hatina mvura yakachena yekunwa, hatina mabhoho. Even pachipatara chaipo kana munhu akabatsirwa ari kutambudzika nokuti mvura anoiwana kutoshatidzire pane munhu abatsirwa. Tinokumbirawo mabhoho ekuti tiwane mvura yekushandisa nematoilets. Mimwe misha yatigere haina zvimbudzi vanoshandisa bush system. Saka tokumbirawo rubatsiro kuti nzvimbo yedu inge inosumukira, kuti chirwere chebhehazia ndo chakatikuvadza kusvika pari nhasi chirege kupararira, chirege kuzokuvadzawo vamwe vari mumashure. Tatenda.
Good afternoon. We are seeking for provision of clean water. We don't have boreholes, and we also don't have toilets. People resort to open defecation in the bushes because, at least if we have the boreholes and clean water, we will be able to eliminate bilharzia.
Habari ya mchana. Changamoto kubwa ambayo tunayo ni maji safi na salama ya kutumia. Sambamba na hilo, kuna changamoto ya vyoo hamna, ambapo watu wanaenda kujisaidia sehemu za vichakani. Kwa hiyo hizo ni changamoto kubwa ambazo zipo katika eneo lao.
Okay. May I please take you back a little bit? What Tafat was saying. She was talking in terms of diagnostic tools. She was saying she's advocating that as what was did in malaria, that when someone comes with the signs and symptoms, I have heard some chills, the blood is taken at the clinic and the patient is given results right there. So that's what she was advocating, to have such diagnostic tools at the clinic level or even at the district level, which is closer to the people.
Kwa kuweka msisitizo, alikuwa anaelezea kwamba dada pale alikuwa ametuambia kuhusu vifaa au vipimo ambavyo vinatumika kugundua haya magonjwa. Mfano, ukienda hospitali unauma malaria au ukienda hospitali unataka kupima virusi vya ukimwi, unachukuliwa damu hapo hapo, unapimwa, unapewa majibu yako. Sasa upatikanaji wa hivyo vifaa au vipimo anavyosisitiza kwenye haya magonjwa mengine kama matende, kichocho, viwepo kama vinavyopatikana kwenye magonjwa mengine.
Thank you. Are there any more comments?
Good afternoon. Mimi nilikuwa naomba kuhusu matibabu. Matibabu ndio kama nilivyoeleza kuhusu mateni. Matibabu yake yanakuwa yapo chini sana. Alovi matokeo yake upate. Kama unaenda kupima matokeo ya hii unakuja malaria. Sasa kama ukipima kutokana upate vipimo vya matende tunakuja malaria. Hii inatokana na nini? Ndio maana maradhi yanafika kuwa makubwa sana mpaka hata hatua kutokana na vile vipimo vyake havipatikani. Hilo la kwanza. La pili, hata sasa hivi miguu sosi yake ni kubwa, ni maji. Kwa sababu maji ndio yanokusumbua, ndio miguu inazidi kuvimba, inazidi uzito. Hata kama unataka kufanya operation ya kupunguza angalau maji au manyama hivi, hilo kwa tunaomba ingalo lifanyike. Naomba kuwasilisha.
So he was saying to diagnostic tools for lymphatic filariasis is still a challenge because he was once being tested and told he has malaria. So the challenge is the diagnostic tools for lymphatic filariasis. In addition to that, also he's recommending and suggesting that the surgical procedures that are performed so as to relieve the presentation of the leg, swollen leg, is very important. So he's highly insisting on that.
Vakutaura izvo zvamamuchimbotaura earlier on kuti ma-diagnostic tools e-LF achiri anonetsa asati akuwanikwa, and angataura futi nezvozvo kuti at least kuti ma-surgeries anoitwa kubatsira kuti zvazvimba kupere asi kumboitwa nzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana, saka ku-encourage kuti dai zvawanikwa zvaitwawo ma-countries edu.
Okay, I think it's easier if I just say, if anyone else would like to speak, please put their hand up. No?
Mimi naitwa Riziki Rajab, mkazi wa Zanzibar. Changamoto tulikuwa nazo sisi kwenda vituoni na kuwa ngumu wengine. Sasa tumezoeshwa sana haya magonjwa, dawa tunaletewa nyumbani. Ukifika muda tunaletewa nyumbani dawa. Sasa kipindi hiki hizi dawa cancel kidogo, haziji. Hasa watu hospitali hawendi, utakuta mtihani, changamoto ipo hapo. Sasa tunaomba ule mradi uwe vile vile endelevu, maana mtu hospitali hendi au hawezi. Sasa tunapitishwa kila majumba, tunapewa vichocho, matende, minyoo, au maskulini watoto wanapewa. Sasa utakuta changamoto hizi ndio tushazoeshwa kupewa pale nyumbani. Sasa hatuletewi, hata tukiletewa tunaletewa za minyoo au za kichocho, za matende, sasa hatupewi. Na asilimia nyingi Zanzibar wagonjwa wa miguu na hospitali hatuendi. Hiyo ndio changamoto yangu. Asante.
Riziki is trying to explain the challenges that they are facing in Zanzibar as the individual affected with lymphatic filariasis. In the previous days, the medication was used to be distributed house to house, but now there is a challenge with distribution of medication. Even if they are provided, the medication for lymphatic filariasis is still a challenge. So they will just provide for the soil-transmitted and for schistosomiasis, but not for the lymphatic filariasis. And for them, it's a challenge to go to the hospital or to the clinic to get the medication because of the condition.
Pakutaurwa nzanzibwe nematambudziko anosanganikwa nawo muZanzibar ari kuafekta vanhu zvakasiyana siyana. Mumakore apfuura vaimbopiwa mushonga kubva mudzimba, vaipirwa mudzimba, asi iko zvino hakasisina izvozvo. Mishonga yacho haichawanikwe, o maprograms acho haachaitwe, asi mushonga uri available muZanzibar ndewebilharzia, ndiwo vari kukwanisa kuwana.
So that also brings to me to the other issue I was trying to think, that what she was talking about is the massive drug administration which is done for all these diseases. But there is an issue of morbidity management which can also be done at the level of the community. Can we have the affected group have their own groups which they can share different experience on how they manage these conditions with others? So when we are closing tomorrow, then we have to think how we can bring them together. Maybe those who have lymphatic filariasis mobility, they can come together and they share experience. Ambao walikuwa wameathirika na ukimwi wana vikundi vyao, vingine vimetengeneza mpaka wanatengeneza pesa hivyo, au wanapeana mawazo. Sio lazima mtengeneze pesa, lakini kupeana mawazo na uzoefu. Wewe mwenzangu unafanyaje, mbona upati mambo mengine hivyo hivyo na hivyo, kitu kingine ambacho kinaweza kufanyika. Kwa hiyo nilikuwa nafikiria hivyo kwamba kesho tutakapokuwa tunafunga, tuone jinsi gani tunaweza kukaa tukawaleta pamoja wale ambao, kwa sababu maambukizi kwa sasa yamepungua, lakini kwamba kama dada Riziki alivyosema pale kwamba kama wapo, basi tunaweza tukaona na shahari kwamba hawa tunawafahamu, wako group moja, kwamba tunaweza kuwafikishia hizi dawa hata kama zipo kwa watu wote, lakini hawa tunawafahamu wakapata hizo dawa, ndio hiyo. Nafikiri ni njia nyingine ambayo tunaweza tukawa tunawafikia kwa urahisi.
Technical aspects of trying to interpret ensure that these medical terms, I'll give it a go. Hama vekuZimbabwe, nyaya yataurwa apa ndeyekuti hanzi munozviziva kuti iko zvino patinenge tiri kuZimbabwe, pavanenge vachirapa zvinhu zvakaita sebhirazia nemakonye emudumbu, vanouya vachitipa mapiritsi munharaunda kana kuti mamisha tese, zvinonzi unganai tokupai mishonga. Asi izvona kana tatadza kurapa nemishonga, zvirwere zvazvoenderera mberi, takuona kuzvimba kwemakumbo, takuona kushaya mbereko kwebhirazia. Hatinawo zvirongwa zvinoti ngatirapei munharaunda yese, kana kuti ngatibatanidzei vanhu tione kuvabatsira nezvirwere zvavainawezvo. Ndekuti iko zvinezvi tirungoti pfungwa dzedu dzese pakurapa nemapiritsi misha yese, asi pakuzoti vari kugara nezvirwere izvi mumisha, hatinawo macommunity organization, hatina kurongeka kuti tione kubatsirana nevanhu vaakugara nezvirwere izvi manje, kuti toita sei, topota tichigeza makumbo edu sei, tozora mishonga yakaita sei, tichibatsirana pachedu. Ndo nyaya yataurwa. Ndiri kutoona hangu kuti varidzi vebasa vanga vachifanirwa kutranslata avo vari papo vaira vabva vanyarara kuti zii kuti ndisaona kuti varipo, asi handiti ndizvo zvataurwa.
Ndiwedzerewo kuti izvi zvataurwa kuratidza kuti Tanzania yava pachinhano chakatokwirira, vakaita zvemastreet nendo vachienda kumunhu wese, ndobva vazosara vakuita zvitargeted maareas kuita transmission. KuZimbabwe chirongwa icho chichi, nokuti taitarisa makonye, but mushonga waishandisa ndoumwewo unoshandiswa palymphatic filariasis. Saka takatosvika pachinhano chokuti taitofunga kuti yaderera zvikuru asati tawana kuongorora zvechokwadi pane zvatakaita here zvakakonzeresa kuti zvichinje kuti chirwere ichi chive chishoma. Asi zvataurwa izvi kana mukaona vanhu vanenge vane urwere hwacho ngavauye pamwe chete kuti zvizivikanwe kuti pave nerubatsiro, especially kwakutaurwa pane vanogona kukwanisa kuita sejari pamwe zvinogona igwaro rinogona kubatsira zvakanyanya. Thank you. Do you remember what I said? Radio does not repeat.
Just in summary, what did you
Okay, in summary, what I said, Tanzania is at a level which is very advanced because they started with the mass treatment in every community and so forth. So, and they moved to targeted, where they go to areas where they think transmission is taking place. So you can see how it is advanced. But nonetheless, I think there is need to keep checking whether the disease is not coming out again. For Zimbabwe, in particular, the treatment, we used to think we have double-edged sword, which means we are targeting soil-transmitted helminths with our vendors, but also indirectly for LF. And when we give mosquito nets, we thought it's also helping. However, we don't know how much impact it has caused, but we still need to map out. So those who are affected, please come together so that you get to be known, to know each other so that the problems can be solved. Thank you.
Thank you, Taka. So we have come to almost end of our schedule today. Do you have anything more? Because you have managed to finish very timely, then we are going to have like 2 hours. We are going to organize a 2-hour tour to the city. Then you can see some areas of Zanzibar. We are going down to the market where you can also, I know Zimbabwean, you like to buy kanga. Yes, you can. Mind you, this is a tourist destination. That is, you have to have in mind. But we do have we have Cecilia here. She knows how to bargain in a Tanzanian way. She will help you to do that. Okay? So we take a minibus because the minibus takes only 28 people. He will come and take the first group and then come back for the second group. Then we are going to be in the city for 2 hours. We are going to come back here around 6, and then we have our dinner at 6 up to 7. Then we go for taking rest. Okay? Yeah. Dr. Mutat, do you have anything? Yes.
I'm just checking with North. Is that the end of our live recording for today? I was just saying, is that the end of our live recording for today? Yes, please, thank you. We've got some housekeeping stuff which we don't really need to broadcast to the rest of the media. So just give me the go-ahead if you've stopped recording. You're sure? Okay.